Hello. Welcome to the Fanfic Majesty. If you want more content, you can follow me on Patreon. I will be uploading more content on there that will be exclusive. The link is in the description. Please support me. 2PC. 2%. Chapter 26 Super Blue Tier 3. Hard-mouthed Champa. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. In the universe, suddenly, the dark blue energy ray greatly increased and sublimated. Along with the rhythm of the power of God, the power of Saiyan is constantly purifying and evolving. The purity was continuously raised, and the power increased wildly. The dark blue energy beam is like opening up the world, illuminating the dark universe and going straight into the depths of the universe space. Bergette, who was in the light, burst out her suppressed emotions and strength with the cry. The entire sixth universe was shaken by this heaven-defying terrifying power. Do not. At this moment, it is not only the sixth universe, but even the seventh universe and the eighth universe that are close to it are more or less affected. When this terrifying energy burst out completely, not only Champa fell into a state of panic, but Vados was also completely shocked. Beyond the current limit, once again beyond the limit of the realm. To say that the Bergette just now crossed the basic realm of gods of destruction, and now it is truly beyond the level of gods of destruction. And if this aura got stronger, it would already be able to catch up with her as angel. Although, it has long been known that Bergette hides a lot of power, and it is also known that Bergette is not as simple as it seems. But she never thought that this hidden strength would be so outrageous. Looking at Champa again, his face turned blue and purple at the moment, his body was shaking violently. Under the coercion of this superpower, he felt like a fragile ant. As long as the other party was willing, you can run over him anytime, anywhere. Advertisement. Before, he was raving about destroying Bergette and Sarada planets, and the Saiyan family. What a stupid and ridiculous thing. If Bergette had brought out this power when they first met, he would have been shattered to pieces. Even if Vados came forward, it would be too late to save him, right? For the first time, Champa felt such unimaginable power from a mortal. Using his most intuitive view now, this power has far surpassed the gods. Not only his gods of destruction, the other gods of destruction and him together, I am afraid they have been completely surpassed. It's amazing, Lord Champa, you know now that there is a sky outside the sky, and there are people outside of it, right? God, it is not absolute. Vados said. These words stimulated Champa again, causing him to gasp. Before Champa could answer, suddenly, ong, a muffled sound shook the space. The dark blue light, which constantly expands and wraps the starry sky, is as dazzling as the universe galaxy, and the scorching arrogance is liberated with Bergette as the center. Under the bath of this divine power, Bergette also ushered in the final transformation. The dark blue hair is stretched to the waist, and the temperament has undergone an absolute change. This form is exactly the same as the third level of Super Saiyan. The only difference is the color of the hair and eyes. Of course, there is another difference, that Super 3 has no eyebrows, but Bergette's Super Blue 3 has eyebrows. But this is also because of Bergette's ultimate transformation, the third stage of Super Saiyan Blue has reached full power. Advertisement. If it is an ordinary Super Blue 3, there is no difference in appearance between the physical and Super 3, except for the color. As for the power, it is based on the evolution peak of Super Saiyan Dark Blue, and it has been increased by 100 times again. Equivalent to a 50 million times normal increase in combat power. This also caused Bergette's combat power to soar to the realm of 500 streams. This is all I have. After transforming, Bergette looked at Angel Vados calmly and said. These words also brought back the shocked Champa and Vados. This unimaginable power of God. How can it be mastered by mortals? It is difficult for even gods to achieve this step. How? How did you do it? Having already completely believed in Bergette's power, he was overturned. Sangwon's Champa begins to question why Bergette is strong. The universe has been expanding, and the world has been evolving. In simple words, why is the power of gods only used by gods? You are too ignorant. Indulge in pleasure and ignore the birth of the strong in the universe, Champa. Now you should understand, the gap between you and me. If Angel hadn't come forward, you'd be dead now. Watching Champa, Bergette replied. At the same time, the imposing, incomparably powerful coercion pressed straight on Champa. You used to be very arrogant, now, can you still be like before? Destroying the Sarada planet and destroying the Saiyan family, do you need to report to me or even the Saiyan family? Saiyan apologizes. If I say that my strength is not as strong as yours, then I can imagine that now not only I am dead, but the Sarada planet and the Saiyan family have also been wiped out by you. After Bergette's words, Champa's face suddenly turned the color of pig liver. He was utterly embarrassed. As gods of destruction, he indulged the unknown young man, no one could restrain him, and he always acted and spoke as he wanted. But today, he met Bergette, an existence who could suppress and suppress, which made him have to bow his head. But apologies, this matter is about the dignity of gods of destruction, especially Champa, who is extremely face-saving. He never bowed his head to anyone. Turning his head to look at Vados, Vados was unmoved at this time, completely ignoring his eyes. Advertisement. There is no doubt that this is the default of Bergette's approach. If you did something wrong, it's hard to apologize, unless you want to be beaten up. This is what Vados thinks. For her, it is also a good thing for Champa to be beaten, and it will not be so messy in the future. As long as it doesn't die, it's not a big problem. In the end, the seemingly unrelenting remark was also said casually by Bergette. It's not a request, it's just sarcasm. Impossible. Even if I die, I will never apologize to Saiyan. What if I have mastered such a powerful god's power? I'm still immortal, and I want my gods of destruction to apologize to you, absolutely. No. Yes. Yes. Champa's attitude was very tough. In this remark, he seems to be expressing that his dignity cannot be tarnished. Really? But in the face of absolute strength, your stubbornness is meaningless. The corners of Bergette's mouth undulated slightly, and she already had a playful thought in her mind. Since Vados has acquiesced, this fat cat needs to be suppressed. The majestic power of the gods circled around him. In less than 0.0001 seconds, Bergette teleported in front of Champa, and when Champa hadn't recovered his senses, he restrained his neck and threw a heavy punch with lightning speed. Chapter 27. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Pound. A thrilling sound of flesh piercing exploded. Just for a brief moment, Bergette's fist hit Champa's fat cheek. Champa's entire face was deformed by the devastating blow in the front. To bear this punch while being restrained, you can imagine how huge the damage is. A scream. Champa's already bruised face was even more miserable. Blood flowed out from the corners of his nostrils and mouth. Although his consciousness still existed, such a severe trauma had already made Champa's mind feel stuffy. If it weren't for him being the gods of destruction, and if his body wasn't strong enough, how could he withstand such a blow? You know, this is Bergette in the Super Blue 3 full power state. With the strength of hundreds of units, how could it be comparable to the current Champa? So, should you admit defeat or continue? Champa, it's hard to be polite. Bergette continued to hold Champa's neck, and said with a cold expression and no mercy. Damn it. It's impossible for me, who is the gods of destruction, to admit defeat. Champa, who was not convinced, was still so stubborn. Even if he has been hit hard, even if he knows that he is not an opponent, he is still stubborn. The atmosphere became a little anxious, and Vados just watched. As Angel, as the attendant of the 6th universe gods of destruction, she can be said to have watched Champa come along, and she also knows Champa's temper best. At this moment, she doesn't want to save her master, she now wants Bergette to deal with this always pretentious master, so that he can work harder in the future. Advertisement. The gods of destruction herself would not know, but as an angel, how could she not know that Champa, the gods of destruction, was out of touch based on her strength alone? Compared to other gods of destruction, he is arguably the weakest. Compared with its twin brother Beerus, it is even more incomparable. One day, one place. Lord Champa, it's not that I don't save you, but if you don't change, our 6th universe really can't rise again. Maybe one day in the future, you will be completely replaced. Close black lens bracket Vados sighed in his heart. All in all, it's still the same idea. I can't kill him anyway, whatever Bergette does, as long as it doesn't kill Champa. Moreover, Vados is also in disguise to let Bergette vent. You must know that Champa's approach was really excessive before, and now that his own lack of ability is countered, there is nothing to say. In particular, now that Vados has determined that Bergette is currently the strongest combat force in the 6th universe, as long as Bergette participates in the All-Universe Power Conference that will be held in the future, the result will be interesting. At least, Bergette alone has completely surpassed those Saiyans of the 7th universe. As Angel, Vados still has a dark side. Champa, who was lifted by Bergette, cast an aggrieved look at Vados for help, only to notice that Vados was not listening to the outside world, his face darkened. He sees it, Vados doesn't want to deal with him. Before he could say anything, Bergette threw his fist again, hitting him hard in the face. In an instant, the dull feeling in his head struck again, and blood flowed from his nose and mouth from time to time, making him miserable. Bergette, do you want to continue? Or to admit defeat now and get beaten up a little less? Champa glared angrily. Of course not. Boom. Single quote. Advertisement. Another punch. Bergette. Now what? Embarrassed Champa. Asshole, you'll pay for humiliating the gods of destruction. Boom. Single quote. Bergette. Still stubborn. Champa. I'm going to kill you. I must kill you. Together with the planet Sarada. LB. Single quote. Bergette. I like gods of destruction with a backbone like you, you are more resistant to beatings. Champa. Ah. Boom. Single quote. Champa. Vados, are you still pretending to be nothing? Help me. Vados reached for his ear, unmoved. Finally, after 3 full minutes of beating, Champa is no longer human, and the whole head is swollen like a pig's head, especially the cheeks on both sides. It has to be said that he is still quite resistant to beatings, and his defense is extremely high. Probably the strongest of gods of destruction. Hey, another punch. Seeing such a tough Champa, Bergette sighed involuntarily. Advertisement. You know, after beating him for so long, even if it was interesting at first, it would be numb and boring. Bergette was such a mental shift that it was around this time that Champa also seemed to be reaching his limit. With his mental capacity reaching the current level, he finally realized the seriousness of the problem. Stop. Wrong. I shouldn't be so domineering, sorry. Can't I apologize for my behavior? Champa was really scared of being beaten. For Champa, Bergette hits really hard and has just the right amount of power control, not knocking him out every time, and making him miserable with every punch. Oh, wouldn't it be better? You have to suffer and then surrender. Isn't this the end? With a grin, Bergette stopped moving and threw the dying Champa at Vados. At this moment, Vados had already noticed this situation in advance, and the angel scepter in his hand burst into a ray of light that enveloped the flying Champa and wrapped it. This magical power made Bergette look sideways. Although it is not a special method, Bergette can easily do it. But there was power in it that Bergette had never seen before. In particular, Champa, who was shrouded in light, seemed to have disappeared, no longer existed in Bergette's perception, and the injuries on Champa's body began to be slowly healed. Vados, you're just watching me get beaten up like this, right? That's how you treat your master. Champa's weak voice still seemed to accuse Vados, with tears in the corners of his eyes, obviously aggrieved. I know, Lord Champa, it's my fault. Vados responded with a dumbfounded cry, and then Angel's scepter was aimed at Champa. Single quote. A mysterious light of healing emanated from Champa's body. 13%. Chapter 28 Angel's Olive Branch, Gods of Destruction Candidate. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Under Angel Vados' ability, all of Champa's injuries recovered as before. The exhausted breath also recovered to its peak under this power. That's one of Angel's abilities, and even Bergette can't believe it when he sees it up close. After all, such a serious injury could be healed in such a short period of time. Angel, as expected, is mysterious enough, and her methods are extremely incredible. This skill alone can instantly heal others, not only repairing the skin trauma, but also repairing the original energy and spirit, and now Champa looks like a normal person. Hey, I'm finally alive. I felt like I was going to die just now. Champa, who had returned to his peak, couldn't help but sighed in relief. Having escaped the catastrophe made him feel how comfortable he is now. But it didn't take long for him to think of the angry picture before and glared at Bergette. This Saiyan, he will never forget it in this life. After living for 10 billion years, the first time he was beaten by a mere mortal, he couldn't handle it, and he was beaten unilaterally, and his life was almost lost. The scene of being strangled and tortured by the neck is normally what he does to others. Now he is himself. How dare you look at me like that? Haven't you been beaten enough before? Do you want to do it again? Bergette glanced at Champa contemptuously and said disapprovingly. As soon as these words came out, Champa was even more angry and itchy, but he couldn't attack. Advertisement. Who makes his strength really inferior to Bergette? Even if there is another fight, the result will be the same. HMPH. You're amazing, I admit it today, but the next time we meet, it will never be the same as this time. You better prepare to wait for me to come to you next time. The majestic words came out of Champa's mouth. This is him trying to get his face back forcibly. Hearing such words, Bergette didn't care, not afraid of him coming, but afraid that he would not come. You know, this sixth universe, also Champa can play with him. It would be interesting if he got stronger. Then I'll wait for you to come to me. But don't let me down, because next time I won't be merciful. Even if Angel is still there, she won't be able to save you. Bergette snorted softly and said. To put it bluntly, the same goes for Champa. He turned his head impatiently. Let's go, Vados. Let's go back to the Gods of Destruction world. The words fell, and it was clear that Champa now wanted to walk away and ignore Bergette. It doesn't make much sense to stay. This trip, he has eaten enough. Maybe you have to wait a bit, Lord Champa. Vados, who heard Champa's order, had no plans to leave immediately. In her opinion, the fun begins now. If she just left, the previous battle would be in vain, and her intention to have a good relationship with Bergette would be in vain. Hearing Vados' words, Champa was obviously stunned, suddenly felt Vados' thoughts, and questioned. Hey, Vados, do you still want to? Advertisement. Seeing that Vados ignored his orders and slowly approached Bergette, Champa had an ominous feeling in his heart. Watching the approaching Vados, Bergette frowned slightly. The third order full power form of Super Saiyan Blue is maintained at its peak, always vigilant against the opponent. After all, people are really powerful. It would be miserable if an accident was really tricked by her. The serious look made Vados smile. There's no need to be so nervous, Bergette-san. As the strongest in our sixth universe, and also the strongest Saiyan, I'm not willing to shoot at you. Also, if you want to take action against you, you can do it before, there's no need to wait until now. The words came out, but Bergette didn't let up. If you have something to say, there's no need to beat around the bush. Although you're a beautiful woman, I don't resist you approaching me, but for a woman as dangerous as you, I can't completely let go of my guard. Bergette said seriously. Are Vados beautiful? Really beautiful. It is the most beautiful existence among the women he has ever seen since crossing. Not to mention the beauties of the previous world compared to him. Hearing Bergette's words, Vados smiled even brighter. Even Angel, who doesn't like listening to other people's rhetoric. Especially for women, complimenting their appearance is the greatest compliment. Advertisement. It's an honor to receive your compliment. Bergette-san is not only strong, but also very well spoken, and very pleasant to listen to. Vados laughed. As she said that, her eyes kept moving up and down Bergette's body. I have to say, as Angel, I have been watching the universe since the birth of the sixth universe, and this is the first time I have seen a powerful human like you. However, Bergette-san should have felt it himself. Your power is strong, but it doesn't seem to be perfect. If you can have my teaching, maybe you can transform again. Commenting on Bergette's Super Saiyan Blue third order full power, Vados' remarks can be said to have hit the key point of Bergette's current situation. It has been 2 years since he reached Super Blue 3. Even if he has cultivated to full power, it is still a little bit worse. Whether it is the strength of the power of God or the strength training of the body, Bergette has achieved the ultimate. But unfortunately, it is impossible to make a new transformation on this basis. Vados' words made Bergette care a little, and couldn't help but hesitate. Your teaching. Yes, after my teaching, maybe you can become stronger and more perfect, so do you want to think about it? Or, become a candidate for gods of destruction in the sixth universe? Vados faced Bergette through a wink, expressly. It is a rare opportunity for anyone to be taught by Angel, let alone become a gods of destruction candidate. Looking at the entire sixth universe, I am afraid that countless people have crowded their heads, queuing up to get Angel's guidance. This is Angel, especially as a traveler. Bergette clearly knows that Angel is a higher level existence than gods of destruction. If you can really get her pointers, no. In other words, Angel might be able to help him reach a higher level. Chapter 29 Girls. You old monster. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Hey, Vados. You want to make him a candidate for gods of destruction in our sixth universe. Have you asked me if I agree or not? Champa was a little angry because of Vados' self-assertion yell at Vados. Burning with anger is certain. After all, once the candidates for gods of destruction were selected, the scope involved would be huge. Simply speaking, only gods of destruction can be guided by Angel. So if Bergette wants to get Vados' guidance, becoming a gods of destruction candidate is a sure first step. However, this is not a good thing for the current gods of destruction. The reason why gods of destruction candidates exist is to prepare for the abdication of the current gods of destruction. To put it simply, now, Champa doesn't think he needs any backup. Like him, the vast majority of gods of destruction are unwilling to have gods of destruction candidates. After all, as gods of destruction, he has the same life as universe, how could he fall easily? How sad is it to be pushed down by an alternate in the process of taking the job? Therefore, most of the candidates are selected by gods of destruction himself. If gods of destruction is unwilling, no one can force them, even Angel. Of course, Angel can guide, which is equivalent to persuasion. Now, for Champa, he suspects Vados, making Bergette a gods of destruction backup without negotiation. Advertisement. What does it mean? Isn't that telling him that he wants to train Bergette to become the new gods of destruction of the sixth universe? How could he accept this kind of thing? Hearing Champa's roar and knowing the inner activities of Champa, Vados covered his mouth and snickered. Well, I'm just joking and talking casually. Please don't be angry, Lord Champa. That being said, but whether Vados was joking or not, only she knew best in her own heart. Champa was speechless, and his forehead was full of blue veins. Bergette narrowed her eyes, her seriousness even more solemn. He didn't take Vados' words seriously, and if he did, he slipped into her trap. What are you trying to express to me? With a cold expression, Bergette's breath became a little colder. Feeling this slight change, Vados deliberately pretended to be pitiful. Cheng chi. Don't be so cold, I'm a girl anyway. Hearing this, Bergette's eyes jumped. Girl, you old monster. I don't know how old you are to still play this game. Is it shameful? I don't have so much time to play with you, so if you don't say anything, then I won't accompany you. Hee hee. Bergette-san is really inhuman, but I really want to guide you. Forget it. Let's get down to business. Let's get down to business first. Bergette-san, I apologize to you for the rude behavior of Champa-sama before. But there is one thing that I must ask you to do. After all, once the power conference is held, it will involve the fate of the universe. So, please think about it seriously. After all, Bergette-san is also a person in the sixth universe. Like you, such a strong man wouldn't put his fate in the hands of others, would he? If you lose, everything will be destroyed in the end, and you can't avoid disappearing with the universe. The words returned to the point, and this was what Vados really wanted to say. Advertisement. For Vados, the powerhouse is on the bright side of the sixth universe, even if they go to the power conference, will not be able to win. If she loses in the end, everything will be in vain. Although she will not die as Angel, I have to say that after a long time, it is also nostalgic. If you can win, you don't want to lose. Bergette can easily defeat Champa, who is gods of destruction. This kind of combat power, at least in all universes, is among the best. As long as Bergette agrees to participate, the odds of the sixth universe will more than double. Hearing this, Bergette was unmoved. Champa on the other side, looking serious, also looked at Bergette, waiting for an answer. It would be good for him if he agreed. The last thing he wants is to lose. How? Bergette-san. Seeing that Bergette didn't answer, Vados smiled and asked Bergette again, as if urging him. It has already been said for this sake, there is no need to hide it. The power conference, Bergette will not fail to participate, however, not to participate casually. This time, I jumped out and fought with Champa. After all, this is also one of the goals. Champa was about to leave before, and frankly, Bergette was a little worried, because if he really didn't invite him, the follow-up would be difficult. Participate, but you can participate. As you said, my destiny will never lie to others. Bergette nodded slightly and said, pretending to ponder for a moment. As soon as these words came out, a brighter smile appeared on Vados' face, and Champa also showed a surprised and ghostly expression. Advertisement. Now that you are willing to participate, why did you go before? Do you have to beat him up to be happy before you participate? Before he could speak, Bergette's expression changed. She raised a finger, and said, of course, you can participate in the power conference, but I also have a request. If it can satisfy me, everything can be said. Before he could finish speaking, Bergette looked at Vados in surprise. Because it was a very complicated matter, Vados didn't even think about it, just nodded and agreed. And, what did he ask for? Champa on the side was impatient and wanted to talk and ask, but he couldn't speak. Since that's the case, let me just say it straight. If I participate in this power competition and finally win all the other universes, I hope to gain the ability to travel back and forth freely between other universes. How? Believe, for you angels, it's not such an outrageous request. No ink was left, and Bergette stopped grinding and chirping, stating her conditions. This request really exceeded my expectations. Why did Bergette-san travel to other universes? Vados hesitated. Clearly, Bergette's request was beyond her expectations. Traveling to other universes. For Angel Vados, it's really not too big of a requirement, but some requirements are not too big to show whether they can be done or not. She can indeed do it, but she still has to consider many follow-up issues. After all, the universe law clearly stipulates that, under normal circumstances, the life forms belonging to the local universe cannot go to another universe at will. Otherwise, not just the native universe will be chaotic, but the other universe will also cause chaos. Chapter 30. This is just a game. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Vados was hesitant, while Champa on the side was anxious. Their performance, to be honest, disappointed Bergette for a while. According to Bergette's words, since he is hesitant now, why did he promise so readily? I really feel that he is a Saiyan, a mortal, and the requirements they make are within their expectations, and they can control and satisfy them at will. It seems that Angel is not omnipotent. I didn't expect a small request to be hesitant for such a long time. It seems that my thinking is too simple. If so, then go back and forth, said Bergette, shaking her head. Disappointment is certain, but if it is really impossible, the only way to get it is to use Super Shenron to make a wish. Super Shenron. So far, the world of Dragon Ball can truly fulfill any wish. What Angel can't do, only he can do. Could it be that Bergette-san really doesn't care about the survival of the universe, the planet Sarada, or the survival of Saiyan? The ability to travel through the universe is not impossible to grant. Bergette-san wants this ability, but it's not impossible, it's just that. Vados' words were a little long-winded. Bergette wouldn't have been annoyed if she had said that at the beginning, but compared to the refreshment before, it didn't seem like a Vados. Of course I care. But what I care more about is that I don't want to be a plaything in the hands of your angels and gods. Don't think I can't guess. This all-universe power conference is just a game. it shouldn't be held, even if influenced by the 7th universe Saiyan, it shouldn't be like this. Frankly speaking, I want to accompany Saiyan in the 7th universe to fight this so-called power competition with all the lives of the universe. I don't think you gods and angels are so stupid, right? Advertisement. The cold words were spoken, and it also expressed Bergette's current mood. Vados stared blankly at Bergette, not only in expression, but also in shock. Unexpectedly, Bergette is not only powerful, but also has such a good mind. According to Bergette, this is indeed the truth. After all, the gods are not fools, and Angel is not a pawn in the hands of others. After all, it's just a game. Champa, who was beside him, didn't understand anything and was stunned for a moment. He was also awakened by Bergette's words. Are the gods all idiots? Is Angel an idiot? Impossible. So what is the Grand Priest? Obviously not realistic. Is it because of Zeno's words that things have developed like this? If there is no force to push on the back, how is it possible? Hey, Vados, you never told me these words. Could it be that, as this guy said, it's just a game? When these words came to his ears, Vados smiled awkwardly, and a drop of cold sweat dripped down his cheeks. Well, Lord Champa, this is not an easy game. At least, once this game is lost, it will be truly destroyed. Vados' words made Champa's face even more ugly. So, other gods of destruction also know what's going on. I'm the only one who doesn't know. Advertisement. Actually, this is not a serious matter. After all, whether Lord Champa knows it or not, the final result will not change. Vados didn't know how to answer, and could only use such words to prevaricate. Normally, it's fine, but this time it doesn't work. For Champa, the problem is now a bit more serious. Everyone knew that he was the only one who was kept in the dark. What does that mean? Doesn't that mean he's an idiot? Furious, at this time Champa was like an inflated balloon, and his entire face was completely flushed. It looks like it will explode in the next second. Such a scene, Bergette is extremely boring. Frankly speaking, I don't even understand it yet. Champa is really stupid. This point, in fact, can be seen from the original work, although other gods of destruction blamed the sin on Son Goku, but to put it bluntly, what is going on? Son Goku is the outlet for all gods of destruction and Supreme Kai, and they can only complain about this Saiyan to express their deep anger. Just as Vados was about to explain, the angel scepter held by Vados suddenly burst into a special light. After a fleeting moment, the expression on Vados' face changed slightly. Champa seemed to have sensed something, and it was not easy to have another attack, ready to listen to Vados. No matter how stupid he is, he knows that Angel Scepter has passed the message. What happened? Advertisement. It is said that this kind of thing has rarely happened in the tens of billions of years since universe was born. Now that it has happened, it is obvious that the higher level Grand Priest has passed the news. Lord Champa, I just got the news. It seems that the matter of the power conference has already taken shape. Lord Grand Priest asked us to go to the Supreme Kai world immediately, together with Supreme Kai, and wait for the arrangement. The words came out of Vados' mouth. At this time, Vados changed his previous attitude and became more serious. Hearing this, Champa directly lifted his spirits. It's going to be held so soon. How can it be so sudden? I don't know about that. In short, we have to hurry up. If it's too late, Lord Champa should know the consequences. Vados said. The two of you are just talking to me. Let Bergette take a deep breath next to her. As a traveler, how could he not know what stage the plot has reached? God knows, it will come so soon. If nothing else, the All-Universe Power Conference will be in the next few days. According to the promotion of the plot, this time it must be the Grand Priest announcing the holding of the Power Conference, and by the way, the basic rules and formats are also told to gods of destruction and Supreme Kai. Then, after an hour, there will be an outpost of the Power Assembly, which is the Prospect Assembly, where Son Goku, Son Gohan and Majin Buu of the 7th universe will play against Bergamo, Lavanda, and Basil of the 9th universe. After satisfying the curiosity of Zeno in the future, in another 48 hours, it will be the official competition of the Power Conference. Chapter 31 Summoned by the Grand Priest, go to the Supreme Kai world. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Then, Lord Champa, without further ado, let's go now. The words said that Vados suddenly forgot what they were struggling with before, and also forgot Bergette. Then let's go. I didn't expect this to happen so quickly. If I knew I should have listened to you, I would have settled the issue of the contestants 2 days ago. The incident happened suddenly, but he already knew that it would be what happened. At this time, facing the call of Grand Priest, Champa only nodded in agreement. Just about to go to the Supreme Kai world with Vados, and suddenly reacted. The current problem has not been solved. Champa paused, and Vados involuntarily raised his hand and patted his forehead. Really, because of the summons of the Grand Priest, the strongest person in our universe has been left behind. I'm really sorry. Bergette-san. But it's a matter of urgency, and you must have heard it. The conversation returned, the attention of Vados and Champa was once again focused, and Bergette turned away from her memory. So, the so-called power conference is really going to be held, and my answer is still the same as before. With a casual voice, Bergette didn't plan to get involved for the time being. The power conference cannot be spared, and he is indispensable, but now is not the time, and he does not want to lie in the muddy water in advance. Your own will is right. But a lot of times, things often backfire. The world is impermanent and ever-changing. Advertisement. Hey, I agree with the condition you just mentioned. As long as you can win this power conference in place of our sixth universe, Vados will teach you the ability to travel through universes. How about it? Champa said suddenly. Not only surprised Bergette, but even Vados opened his mouth, not knowing how to answer for a while. Lord Champa, aren't you a little sloppy like this? This is the ability to travel through the universe. Vados complained slightly. This is not a good thing. Humph. Stop talking nonsense, I will bear the consequences. Anyway, even if you taught him this ability, once he really travels through the universe, he won't ignore it, right? It's like I want to travel to the seventh universe. With his hips on his hips, Vados couldn't help laughing and crying. Can this be the same? Champa is the gods of destruction, and as Angel, she is normal. But not Bergette, he's just a Saiyan. Seeing that Vados was still a little worried, Champa said, okay. If you don't answer, I will take it as your promise. But you must know that if you lose the game, you don't need me to destroy it. This universe includes me. Shall perish. Champa's words made Bergette feel flattered. Before, I thought this fat cat was unreasonable, arrogant and mindless, but now it suddenly looks a lot more pleasing to the eye. Then, I'll be the right angel to agree to my terms. Bergette said with a frown on the corner of her mouth. The contract was reached, and Vados on the side only shook his head helplessly. Since that's the case, should Bergette-san come with us to the Supreme Kai world? After all, what the Grand Priest wants to announce is the specifics of the power conference. Vados took the initiative to invite, although Champa was reluctant on the surface, but he could only acquiesce. Even if Bergette agreed, they would have reconciled temporarily, but the previous hatred would not dissipate easily. Okay, then I'll follow you to see it. Saying so, she was still a little reluctant, but in fact, Bergette had to go too. Advertisement. The next second, the Super Saiyan Blue Third Order Full Power State was released. Then, Bergette-san will grab my shoulders, there is still a long way to go to the Supreme Kai world, I have to use hyperspace jump to get there quickly. If one accidentally fails to grasp firmly, Bergette-san may fall into another dimension in the space-time slit, even I can't save it. Vados said, raising Angel's scepter a little to the void. Don't worry, I'm not that stupid. Feeling Angel's strength up close, Bergette placed her hand on Vados' shoulder. Before waiting for Bergette to feel how good Vados is, a mysterious force suddenly emerged, wrapping the bodies of the three, followed by a burst of colorful rays of light. The three turned into a stream of light in an instant, crossing the void space and disappearing into the starry sky here. At this moment, Sarada planet. Above the plane, countless Saiyans gather here. There is no doubt that they were all attracted by the previous war. Although the planet Sarada has now returned to a calm state, it seems that nothing happened before. But those who arrived earlier have witnessed the change in the situation with their own eyes. That kind of scene is too terrifying, if you hadn't seen it with your own eyes, it would be unbelievable to say it. Completely beyond their comprehension. Advertisement. At this moment, Caulifla and Kale were still looking up at the sky, unable to perceive the presence of breath, and their moods became extraordinarily anxious. Bergette is heaven to them. Now the situation is unclear, even if you believe in Bergette, you can't help but worry. What's the matter? After Brother Bergette and Gods of Destruction hit the planet, the breath can no longer be detected. Is it because our strength is too weak? Or is the distance too far? Babble. Kale stood beside Caulifla. It's alright, Sister Caulifla, nothing will happen. I believe that Brother Bergette will not lose. If he loses, the Gods of Destruction will definitely come again to destroy the salad. To the planet. Kale was very smart and thought of the most crucial point. If he loses, then Champa will never give up. Champa didn't show up, so it proved that Bergette didn't lose. I also encountered such a situation in the competition with the 7th universe. In the words of Saiyan of the 7th universe, after transforming into a Super Saiyan God, the breath is no longer an ordinary breath. We mortals cannot easily I feel it. Gabe spoke suddenly. As soon as these words came out, Caulifla and Kai were stunned. So, it's Brother Bergette, is he a god? It turned out to be like this, it's just that we can't feel the breath. Chapter 32 The Unfathomable Super Existence. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Located in the Supreme Kai world of the 6th universe. At this moment, Supreme Kai Foi of the 6th universe and his servants have already received the news from the Grand Priest. They made all the preparations at the first time, waiting for the coming of gods of destruction Champa and Angel Vados. Because both gods of destruction and Supreme Kai must be present, the Grand Priest will arrive and announce the event. After waiting for about a minute, with a colorful light falling from the sky, the Holy Land of the 6th universe will also have the biggest event in history. Fua knew who the visitor was, and moved forward cautiously, rubbing his hands together, for fear that one would anger the visitor. Supreme Kai, ostensibly one of the highest gods in the universe, is actually the god at the lowest level. Compared with gods of destruction, the real status is too far away. This is especially evident in the 7th universe and 6th universe. The Supreme Kai of these two universes is also the Supreme Kai with the most crotch in strength. That, Lord Champa, you are finally here. I have been waiting for you here for a long time. Before the colorful rays of light dissipated, Fua respectfully spoke to the position of the light. Obviously, the timidity is extremely small. What he didn't expect was that this time, not only gods of destruction Champa and Angel Vados came, but also a person. An unexpected existence, also Saiyan, whom he knew in the early years. It's been a long time, Supreme Kai Fova, you're still the same as the last time we met, you haven't changed at all. No sarcasm or contempt, Bergette's words made Fova sweat. Advertisement. Bergette, I didn't expect you to come too. Lord Champa brought you with you. Could it be that you have already decided to participate in the power conference? Fua's words were very humble. This time Bergette came, and that was all he thought. After all, he also thought about suggesting Bergette in the last martial arts conference with the 7th universe, but Gabe first recommended it and was directly rejected by Bergette. To be honest, as Supreme Kai, you shouldn't need to look at other people's faces like this, but he doesn't have that strength. He can't afford to offend Champa, nor can he offend Bergette. You must know that the cholera universe made him helpless to deal with the existence of evil. If it weren't for Bergette, something big would have happened, and now universe would not be so peaceful. It's also to blame that Champa was always lazy and sleeping, no matter what happened in universe. For Foy, Bergette is the righteous warrior of the 6th universe. Especially in the past many years, as long as he encountered problems and things that were difficult to settle, he would basically entrust Bergette. Of course, Bergette won't work in vain, just like Bergette's understanding of teleportation, and the Supreme Kai's help to him in terms of space attainments. Otherwise, it would not be possible to make such a big improvement in instant transmission solely on its own. Forget it. After all, it is a major event involving the 6th universe. At this time, Bergette instead showed a sense of righteousness that made both Champa and Vados ashamed. It can only be said that it deepened the image in the hearts of Champa and Vados, and let them know that Bergette really does whatever he wants, more gods of destruction than gods of destruction. By the way, you two know each other. Champa said in order to interject. Well, you think we've all been communicating like this, don't we know each other? What you should ask is, how did you know each other? Champa, by the way, you have to thank me, because if it wasn't for me a few years ago, if so, this universe is already in a mess. Looking at Champa with contempt, Bergette said as if he was preaching. Huh, are you kidding me? Champa was obviously unacceptable, looking like he was going to eat people. Advertisement. Actually, it's probably like this. Knowing that Champa is not easy to fool, Supreme Kai Fawa began to explain. After a brief remark, it was enough to tell what happened over the years. It also made Champa blushed. Feelings, he is really lazy. Forget it, I don't want to worry about other things now, I'll just wait here for the next order from Grand Priest. Champa still has the ability to change the subject. I saw him stretch his lazy waist, find a quiet place to sit down, and cast a menacing look at Foy's god servant. The servant of God was so frightened that he hurriedly left the place to prepare tea. Apparently, it's a common occurrence. Vados followed and sat down, waiting for the reception of the servant of the gods. As for Bergette, she folded her arms indifferently and leaned against a big tree beside her. Grand Priest, he had never seen it before. Now we will soon see the power ceiling of this Dragonball world. To be honest, I am a little excited. Angel is a powerful being he cannot perceive, so what about Grand Priest? After just a few minutes, the space in the Supreme Kai world suddenly distorted, and a mysterious force came out from the distorted space, eventually forming a pink-purple energy vortex. Advertisement. Open black lens bracket. This feeling. The sense of threat was overwhelming, and the instant deterrent force made Bergette take a cold breath, her expression extremely serious. When he turned his eyes, he saw a vague figure in the center of the distorted space. An existence filled with a powerful and mysterious atmosphere walked out of this distorted space. Without a doubt, the Grand Priest. It looks small in stature, but it is more important. Wearing a blue god's costume, there is a huge white ring behind it, which is different from Angel, but not the same. Every move was implicated in a terrifying aura that seemed to exist. If not for the current state, Bergette will only feel ordinary. Grand Priest. A more mysterious and powerful being than Angel, and an omnipotent representative in the world of Dragon Ball, completely invisible. Secretly, Bergette was comparing herself to Grand Priest. He tried to sense the fluctuations of the Grand Priest's breath, and it was fine that he didn't sense it. Once he sensed it, Bergette felt more and more insignificant. Unfathomable. In addition to this word, a more appropriate description is that he is just an ant, but he is looking up to the size of universe. He couldn't feel the slightest fluctuation at all, but the coercion brought him invisibly made him involuntarily want to worship. This is the Grand Priest. Far more exaggerated than in the original. 16%. Chapter 33 Win. No prizes. Lose. The universe is destroyed. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. It's been a long time since I came to the Supreme Kai world of the 6th universe. Compared with the Supreme Kai world of other universes, this place has always been unique. The Grand Priest came, and he put his hands back on his back. He watched it for the first time. Everything I got here, and I sighed. The Supreme Kai world of the 6th universe does have something unique. It's just that this is unique, it's not too good, it's not too bad, it's just weird. I don't know about other Supreme Kai worlds, but Bergette also knows that the Supreme Kai world of the 6th universe and the Supreme Kai world of the 7th universe are much different. Specifically, it can only be said that this Supreme Kai world has been transformed and is very suitable for mortals to live in. Moreover, this Supreme Kai world has indeed taken in a lot of mortal species. Some have long since become extinct, and some have been newly created. This is also a personal favorite of Supreme Kai Foy. Even if the nether world is extinct, he just wants to keep some. To put it simply, this god realm is not only the god realm of Supreme Kai, but also a paradise for ordinary life. Facing Grand Priest's ridicule, Foy had already been frightened and fell to the ground. Like his servant, he worshipped and shouted, "See Grand Priest." Similar to him, gods of destruction Champa had already shouted all over his body, fearing that he would anger the Grand Priest, so he bowed 90 degrees respectfully and shouted the same words. Only Angel Vados looked at the Grand Priest with a calm expression and a half smile. For her, Grand Priest is also her father, so as long as it is not in front of Master Zeno or other angels, she basically maintains a slightly cold attitude. Advertisement. As for Bergette, at this moment, she stood there coldly watching, her eyes unwavering. For these superficial skills, he will not do it. Grand Priest is indeed no trivial matter, more frightening than Angel, but he also has his own heart. Even if they are suppressed, they are absolutely unwilling to admit defeat. Of course, his performance was not in the eyes of the Grand Priest. How could a supreme power standing in the heaven and earth care about an ant doing something disrespectful to him? No gift. Get up, all of you. The calm words came out of Grand Priest's mouth. As Champa and Foy stood up, Grand Priest also summoned a bundle of purple scrolls from his hands and slowly opened it. According to the content on the scroll, he also began to read out. According to the order issued by Lord Zeno, hereby inform the gods and angel of the 6th universe. Wongli 3.135.5,603 days, from 157 o'clock onwards, will gather the selection of each universe. Each of the 10 contestants will hold a power conference. As the Grand Priest read out the entire contents of the power conference word by word, Champa, Foy, the servants of the gods, and Bergette, who were present, all concentrated their minds. Although you know the plot, but hearing it in person is a different feeling. In simple words, what should come, finally came. A power conference that brings together the 10 strongest players from each universe. Also defined by Bergette as the game of the game. Advertisement. All the content, that's all for now. Universe 6 is the last universe I've notified. According to the time you said, there are only the last 50 minutes to prepare. After 50 minutes, the preview conference will be held. Then, you all go to watch. Grand Priest put away the scroll and said, 50 minutes. So fast, Champa exclaimed. Although, this preview conference is different from the power conference, and it has nothing to do with the 6th universe. But it is also a match between the 7th universe and the 9th universe, and it happened too fast. Do you still have any questions? Gods of destruction Champa of the 6th universe. Looking at Champa, Grand Priest's words were full of intimidation. This is no trivial repression, and Champa was so frightened that he was about to lose his soul. No. You misunderstood. I just said casually. Champa didn't dare to talk more. It can be seen how deep the fear of Grand Priest is. On the other hand, Supreme Kai Fawa, who was on the side, didn't know where the courage came from, and suddenly asked, Lord Grand Priest, we will not be late for the preview conference. It's just that since the power conference is going to be held, where is it? How about holding it? It doesn't seem to be mentioned in the imperial decree given by Zeno-sama. Hearing this, Grand Priest smiled with relief. The venue has been decided, it's in the boundless world. The realm of nothing. Isn't that place empty of anything? There is no time, no space, it's a world full of eternity and nothingness. Champa said in surprise. Although he is lazy and doesn't care about anything, he still knows and masters the basic information. It is true that there is nothing in the boundless world, but because there is nothing, you can compete as much as you want. As a Grand Priest, I will also build a ring for the competition in advance. By the way, this conference is the winner's prize. I have to praise you, because you provided 3 wishing beads, but saved me a lot of trouble. Grand Priest said while praising Champa. This also made Champa flirt with celestial spirits, and was praised by the Grand Priest for the first time. Advertisement. Where, I should be able to serve the Grand Priest. By the way, the Grand Priest, since I have a reward, what kind of prize will the winning universe get? No. Grand Priest's answer was more direct. These words made Champa and Fui take a deep breath at the same time. I knew in my heart that it was a futile fight. There are no prizes yet. But one thing is clear, the universe that loses the game will be wiped out by Zeno-sama. So, don't relax just because there are no prizes, thinking about just fooling around. Among the 12 universes this time, the average level of the 6th universe is also quite low. Grand Priest added. Such a thing has already been made clear. It's just that it's even more terrifying now. In simple words, there is no room for negotiation. We understand, Lord Grand Priest. At this time, Vados answered. She knew that if she didn't speak again, the day would be dead. Very good. Then, see you in 48 minutes. He nodded, and in the next second, the distortion of time and space began to gradually repair. As the Grand Priest vanished like nothingness, everything was at peace. 16%. Chapter 34 Deciding Who to Choose, Bergette's Advice. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Grand Priest finally left. When he left, gods of destruction Champa, Supreme Kai Foi and the servants of God who were present were greatly relieved. After all, that was the Grand Priest. For them, it is the immediate boss of the immediate boss. Once people are unhappy, they can easily make them lose their jobs, or even never exist again. Next, what should I do? Lord Champa. Vados couldn't help but ask when he saw a few people calm down. What can I do? Hurry up and find someone. Counting Bergette, the only people who can use it now are Hitter, Gabe, Walter Majetta, Frost, and Berdamer. Champa raised his brows and raised his hands. Hold your chest and think carefully. There are still more than 40 minutes before the preview conference, and it can be imagined that it will not be too late for the power conference. Therefore, we must quickly find 4 more candidates. It's easy to say, but Lord Champa never seems to pay attention to the strong players in our universe. It's not easy to find 4 more players. Vados squinted and teased. She's telling the truth, because Champa has always been a loner and doesn't know enough about his own universe. Isn't this still Fua? Hey, you old boy should have a suitable candidate, right? Don't tell me that you, Supreme Kai, who created planets and life, don't know how many powerful people in the Nether universe are worth recruiting. There is no way, no clue. Champa turned on the dumping mode. Advertisement. Let him find it. Just kidding. What year and month will it be found? Supreme Kai Fua sweated profusely when he heard the words. That. Mr. Champa, there are certainly many powerful people in the universe, but if you want me to look for it at once, I have no direction. Embarrassed and overwhelmed. After all, it happened so suddenly. Moreover, this should be a matter of Champa, because only after passing the level of Champa can it be considered qualified. Even if he, the Supreme Kai, thinks it can be done, but if he chooses a bad person badly, he will have to take responsibility in the end. Huh, are you kidding me? My requirements are not high, as long as they all meet the strength of this kid Bergette. The 6th universe is so big, I don't believe there are no other people. Hold your chest to release the pressure. It feels like the meaning of Shi Wei if a word disagrees. This also made Foi even more broken. What is this requirement? It is a miracle that a universe can give birth to such a strong man as Bergette. Still using Bergette as the base standard, how to find this special? I think Lord Champa should stop forcing Fua. The 2 female Saiyans on Sarada planet before, aren't they quite suitable? Besides, maybe they can become our secret weapon. Vados said suddenly, like it's to help Supreme Kai Fua, and it seems to be deliberately changing the topic. The words caught Champa's attention, and he suddenly realized that he clenched his fist with one hand and tapped the palm of the other hand. Yeah. How could I forget that? Although those 2 female ghosts are very rude, they are indeed stronger than Gabe. That kid is amazing. Yossi. The 2 Saiyans can also participate. Advertisement. Decided in one go, Champa ignored Vados' second half of his sentence. In the end, there are 2 people missing, which is also the most headache. Seeing their tangled appearance, Bergette, who was beside the big tree, was very speechless. In the original book, That is, because no one could be found anymore, the three players in the sixth universe stretched their hips very much. Not to mention the two Namek people, Sayonal and Piranha, they are still a little strong, and they assimilated the entire Namek family, but that Dr. Loda really made up the number. Of course, now that he is involved, Dr. Loda's role is lost. But the remaining two, if they were looking for Sonal and Piranha, were really not qualified. In the sixth universe, if you lose, there is only one hit who can take on the big responsibility. Even if Califra and Kale merged in the end, resulting in the birth of the integrated warrior Kefla, which slightly reversed the situation, it was nothing in the end. It was at this time that Fowa suddenly spoke, and he thought of something decisively, so he recommended, I don't know, can Namek people be okay? In our universe, Namek people are very peace-loving humanoid species, and they were in when they were created, they also set the standard of high combat power, just like Saiyan. Namek person. This name is a bit familiar. Champa reached out and grabbed his chin, thinking. Seeing this, Vados on the side said directly, has Lord Champa forgotten? During the competition with the seventh universe, Namek people were sent there. Although his performance was not particularly outstanding, his unique skill was suddenly lost. The protective shield I created with Whis broke down. I see. Is it that race? Are the Namek people of our universe that strong? Champa asked. After all, it's a twin universe. Even if it's not as good, it won't be too bad. Saiyan's comparison, isn't that what it is? Vados said with a smile on his face. Advertisement. These words calmed Champa's shaky heart. Then there is no big problem with 10 candidates. After this preview conference is over, we will go to the Namek Ball. Having said that, the contestants of the power contest have been decided. However, Bergette, who shouldn't have said anything, couldn't help but said, if I go, maybe that guy will participate. If you go, I'm afraid you won't be able to invite a particularly strong guy. There are so many strong people in the universe, but most of the strong people know that the whole universe power conference is just an angel's game, so even if they are invited, they are definitely not willing to become puppets. Champa went to 6th Universe's Namek Ball, at best, just like the original, with Sonal and Piranha in the game. Bergette had better ideas. If he comes forward, he can invite that super Namek person to take action. That guy's strength, but he was once troubled. Since it's an angel's game, the angels will be blinded. Also let them know that mortals are not really free to play and control. You guy, there is a more suitable candidate. No, you are so kind. Champa questioned Bergette's words. Believe it or not, it's up to you. Anyway, it's true. Bergette said to Champa and Vados. Chapter 35 Vados. Bergette-san goes to. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Watching Bergette, Champa didn't know how to answer for a moment. For Bergette, his cognition is obviously not so deep, so he doesn't know whether Bergette is telling the truth or joking. If it's true, that's good, but if it's calculated, it's different. Vados on the side watched Bergette without speaking for a long time. As Angel, she seemed to know what Bergette wanted to do right away. In particular, she had heard of the existence Bergette was about to invite. Even if she has been with gods of destruction Champa, she doesn't pay much attention to the universe of the lower world, but I have to say that there are some heavyweights in the universe, and she knows all about it. Involving the Namek people is the only one that exists. Mastered the power of the dragon god and developed a transformation belonging to the super Namek. If Bergette's strength ranks first in the universe, then the strength of that super Namek person is at least in the top 5, or even the top 3. If you compare it purely with Hit, the super Namek person may be even better. Is Bergette-san going to invite that person? Isn't he already? Supreme Kai Fawa, who reacted, said in horror. Advertisement. For him, if that Namek person, that is really a big deal. Because the Namek people he said all belong to the high-strength and kind-hearted people, except for the Namek people. But I have to say that they are indeed the most powerful Namek people. He still remembered that 5 years ago, an evil Namek person who had left his hometown and left the Namek ball returned to his hometown and killed his fellow clan. In the end, it was Bergette's shot that resolved the disaster. Later, after the Super Namek was woken up and abolished by Bergette, he stayed on the Namek ball. There has been no news for so many years. It seems that Supreme Kai already knows who I am going to go to. Compared with the others, I think he is the most suitable player. Moreover, the Namek of the 7th universe will also play, and he will deal with it, it's also the most appropriate. His eyes narrowed slightly, and Bergette's words fell. In this case, Champa did not understand, but both Foy and Vados knew. But, wasn't that Politan abolished by you at the time? Even if you had the strength to participate in the beginning, but now, it has become. Foy questioned. Hearing this, Bergette smiled again. You want to say that he has become a cripple, right? You can rest assured of this, if an existence like him becomes a cripple so easily, then to be honest, he is not a super Namek after being beaten up by me, he has changed. After so many years, I believe his strength will only become stronger. As that's so. Fui dripped cold sweat on his forehead. This time, another character that was extremely difficult to get along with and control appeared. If that's the case, then Bergette-san really has to go there personally. Even if Lord Champa goes, it's useless. Vados added a sentence intentionally or unintentionally. This made Champa on the side look like a man in the air, and shouted with anger, "Hey hey hey. What do you all think of my gods of destruction? Also, what are you talking about?" Quote. Champa's violent temper came up, and he became a fat cat that was furious. He didn't make any sense. Advertisement. The one who will pay attention to him, that is, Vados, doesn't know how she carried it. Well, Lord Champa only needs to know that the Namek people that Bergette-san invited to invite are very strong. After that, Vados looked at Bergette again and said, "So, the 9th candidate is already available, and the 10th candidate, Bergette-san has any ideas, or suggestions?" 9 people, it's all together. The last person, Bergette, has already had an idea. Now that you have chosen to speak, you will never speak only half of it. After all, it's a problem that the entire universe has to face, so the demon world can't be alone. Demon King Hill, isn't it suitable? What do you think? With a slight smile, Bergette's words awakened the 3 people present again. Demon Lord Hill. The 6th universe is known as the strongest king of the devil. The scariest character ever. Humph. That stinky queen. If you hadn't mentioned it, I would have almost forgotten her. She was daring to come to challenge this god. If you hadn't stopped Vados, she would have been destroyed by me. Champa recalling a certain past event, he opened his mouth and said, his expression sarcastic and cold. That being said, now it seems that it was a good thing that I stopped Lord Champa from fighting. Now I really need to use a character like her. Vados said with a smile. Bergette did give the best advice. First, Periton, and then Demon King Hill. These 2 characters may not be as strong as Bergette, but they are very close to the level of gods of destruction, and they are not worse than hit. The 10th player is settled. At this point, even if he was very upset with that hill, Champa could only accept it. Advertisement. But for Supreme Kai Foi, he has been frightened. He was already timid, and he wanted to see these most unwilling existences in one breath. Can he be psychologically balanced? ... Time flies. In the blink of an eye, 40 minutes passed. The preview conference is about to be held. Here, Gods of Destruction Champa, Supreme Kai Fua, and Angel Vados are all ready and waiting for the call of the Grand Priest. Bergette has already made up her mind to go. It doesn't make much sense for him to stay here. It was at this time that Vados' words made him a little interested. By the way, why don't Bergette-san go together? Just in time, I can get to know the players of the 7th universe and the 9th universe. As soon as the words came out, Bergette became interested. Champa was a little shocked. Hey, is this okay? If the Grand Priest knew about it, wouldn't he say we cheated? Well, what does it matter? I think other universes should have the same idea. I can't help it, other universes will bring 1 or 2 players with them. Vados winked and smiled. Chapter 36 Heading to the War Zone, Zeno Temple. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Located outside the 12 universes, it is also the highest realm above the 12 universes. Zeno Temple. Located here. The space at the entrance suddenly flashed a ripple. As the space was distorted, the time-space tunnel was slowly opened. White light flashed through the time-space tunnel, and in a blink of an eye, Supreme Kai Fua, Angel Vados, Gods of Destruction Champa, and Bergette in black robes appeared here. At the invitation of Vados, Bergette also came to this unexplored territory. I have to say that I didn't want to come, but since I can come, it's good to see Angel and Gods of Destruction from other universes first. As for the match between the 7th universe and the 9th universe, there is absolutely nothing to watch. In the end, it's just 3 test matches, and it's just for the future Zeno to have a look, so that the future Zeno, like the modern Zeno, is full of expectations for the power conference. Sure enough, this feeling of witnessing is completely different from the previous imagination. This is the highest place in the world, the palace where Zeno lives. He sighed inwardly, staring at the full-shaped palace in front of him. Bergette was somewhat shocked. It seems that we were the first to arrive, none of the other universes' gods have arrived yet, Lord Champa. Looking around, Vados said with a chuckle, not finding the gods of destruction and angel of other universes. HMPH. Don't confuse me with those guys. As a gods of destruction, my awareness has always been very high. Champa said triumphantly. Bergette on the side was speechless. Honestly, it's nothing to be proud of. On the contrary, the more obedient and punctual he is, the more he is like a watchdog. Advertisement. Then, let's go, Lord Grand Priest should be waiting for us inside. Glancing at Champa with a smile in his eyes, Vados took the lead and walked towards the entrance of Zeno Temple. Champa followed with Bergette and Foy. Entering the palace, Walking on the crystal road emitting a faint blue light, each step, these crystals will reflect a different light, illuminating the darkness for people. All around, there are stars and rivers in the sky, like a completely lit universe. At the end of the passage, a man in a blue god's costume appeared. He is the Grand Priest. Do not. To be precise, what Bergette saw before was just a clone, and the current Grand Priest is the real deity. I didn't expect it to be so unfathomable. Seeing it again, it's even more unpredictable. Bergette thought to herself. It gave him an invisible pressure before, but now he only sees it at close range, and the irresistible aura is even heavier. I should say, he is indeed the leader of Angel, the man who can control Zeno. And the combat power in this world belongs to the absolute ceiling. Just the coercion of standing there makes people dare not act rashly. See Lord Grand Priest. Gods of Destruction Champa and Supreme Kai Foi walked in front of Grand Priest, and the two made extremely respectful and exaggerated movements. The two gods fell to their knees and buried their heads on the ground. Master Grand Priest. Compared with them, Angel Vados seemed much more relaxed, she just bowed slightly and walked through the process with the father. All three saluted the Grand Priest respectfully, with only Bergette standing still. Although the coercion of Grand Priest is indeed amazing, but even if he is inferior, he will not bow down to Grand Priest. Advertisement. This can be regarded as Bergette's unruly. This move also caught the attention of Grand Priest. Those deep eyes stared at Bergette, as if seeing through his past and present. A look of interest appeared on Grand Priest's face. He had been following Bergette long, long ago. It can be said that Bergette has known since the moment he was born in this world. He also understood that Bergette, in a sense, was not of this world. However, he still let Bergette stay here, and he has not seen him for decades. The kid he paid attention to at the time has grown into a strong enough to match gods of destruction, and even surpass gods of destruction. Grand Priest held his chin in his right hand, looked at Bergette, nodded secretly, and expressed satisfaction. This kind of atmosphere is a bit dignified, weird, and unpredictable. As Angel, Vados also became nervous at the moment, cold sweat fell on his forehead, and he forced a smile. Champa, the gods of destruction, was terrified by Bergette's behavior. Open black lens bracket. What is this kid doing? This is the Grand Priest, so hurry up and salute. Close black lens bracket. Champa was extremely nervous, sweat dripped down his cheeks like a waterfall, and his face was extremely ugly. Supreme Kai Foi on the side was also startled by Bergette's actions. Newborn calves are not afraid of tigers, but the one in front of them is not a tiger. This is the supreme god in this world. Grand Priest. It's okay if you don't behave politely, but don't implicate us. Time just passed by. Advertisement. I don't know how many seconds passed before Grand Priest nodded thoughtfully. The existence of such a warrior in the sixth universe is beyond my expectations. For many years, I have never seen such a pure human being who can cultivate the power of God. Grand Priest stared at Bergette and praised. The words fell, and the hanging hearts of Angel Vados and gods of destruction Champa finally let go. They breathed a sigh of relief in their hearts. Just now, they were almost scared to death. After he was relieved, his eyes fell on Bergette, feeling unbelievable. Even the Supreme God, Lord Grand Priest, speaks so highly of Bergette. It can be seen how good Bergette is. Then, without further ado, I'll send you to the ring at the outpost of the preview conference. Grand Priest stopped wasting time. As his words fell, the crystal beneath his feet burst into light, and the invisible mysterious power spread. Everyone is rapt. When this power appeared, Bergette was aware of it, and he magnified his perception to feel this mysterious power carefully. Different from Angel's space teleportation, this is a purer and more powerful space force, and it is also a force that can instantly teleport people and objects to another space. The supreme god of the Dragonball world. Grand Priest. Having seen it in person is far more deterrent than seeing it in anime, he seems to know everything. Grand Priest. The terrifying ability surprised Bergette quite a bit. The light that the crystal bloomed became more and more dazzling, and when the light dissipated, the three had been transferred to a brand new space. They came to the viewing area of their own universe. Except for them, it seems that not a single gods of destruction has arrived in other universes. 17%. Chapter 37. The whole universe is here. Finally see Son Goku. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. As the first universe to arrive, we still have to wait. Standing on the suspended platform, Vados said. Looking around, there are 11 floating platforms. This is all in preparation for the other 11 universes. Wait, just to see what other universes have prepared. By this time, Champa was not in a hurry. To him, it seems like he has arrived and won't be criticized by the Grand Priest. That's fine. I don't know, this time against the 9th universe, will the 7th universe still be the same as when it faced us? Supreme Kai Fovelho was a little worried. I don't know what he was thinking. Cut. It's better to lose, and to eliminate the arrogance of that guy from Beerus. Champa said with a vicious look on his face. Seeing his performance like this, Vados on the side expressed that he wanted to cry without tears. To her, this host is unreliable, but she is really cute. Bergette didn't feel anything, she stood firmly on one side with her arms folded, and didn't say a word. He was still thinking about the words of Grand Priest before, and he was also thinking about the feelings he had sensed before. Time seems to be the next second, and it seems that a long time has passed. Suddenly, at the 10th universe position, a dazzling white light flashed. After the white light, several figures appeared, and it was the arrival of Angel Kessi, Gods of Destruction Rumsshi, Supreme Kai Kavas from the 10th universe. Then, there is the 11th universe. Angel Makalita, Gods of Destruction Vermut, Supreme Kai K, and Toppo, also in black. Advertisement. Like the original, he's here too. Bergette's attention was immediately focused on the past, sensing it. Seeing the 11th universe also brought outsiders, Champa looked proud, and it seemed that he had called Bergette from the very beginning, which was his foresight. That guy Vermut, did he really bring contestants? Humph. That's cunning. He couldn't help but mutter. This is ironic. Of course, it is only for myself and my own people, and others cannot hear it. The second sentence has not yet been said, and then the viewing area of each universe shines. Angel Karen, Gods of Destruction Likir, Supreme Kai Iru from the 8th universe. First universe. Angel Avamo, Gods of Destruction IWNE, Supreme Kai Anat. Third universe. Angel Canberley, Gods of Destruction Moscow, Supreme Kai Al. Fourth universe. Angel Konik, Gods of Destruction Quatella, Supreme Kai Kul. Second universe. Angel Sava, Gods of Destruction Hareth, Supreme Kai Pel. Fifth universe. Angel Kukardal, Gods of Destruction Eric, Supreme Kai Oguma. 12th universe. Angel Mardinu, Gods of Destruction King, Supreme Kai Agu. Except for the 9th universe and the 7th universe, everyone is here. Advertisement. Bergette's eyes kept shooting. At first glance, he was really startled. All the combat power indexes of Gods of Destruction appeared in front of his eyes. The weakest were Kiongo level units, and even had the strength of 1 Gods of Destruction. The limit of the ditch unit level has been reached. Gods of Destruction Quatella, the combat power value is 9,999 grooves. Only the superficial combat power data has reached 9,999 grooves, which is only one step away from reaching the 11th dimension. If the opponent bursts out with all his strength, at least it is the existence of the unit level, the god of the 11th element level. I have to say, Bergette has guessed before that there are very individual existences in Gods of Destruction, and they are extremely powerful. Now that I see it with my own eyes, I am really shocked. Even if he is not afraid, but with this strength, if he wants to deal with it, he has to take out the Super Blue 3. Quatella is so powerful, so the strongest Gods of Destruction is not the 10th dimension level at all. You must know that Beerus in the original book can fight the gods alone and is not weak, and the Mouse Gods of Destruction Quatella is even more of him, nemesis. With my current combat power, it is not really beyond the realm of Gods of Destruction. In Gods of Destruction, there are still beings who can compete with me. I have a long way to go. Bergette murmured in her heart. Time, unknowingly, another minute passed silently. At this moment, in a position that is still vacant, Gods of Destruction Sidra, Angel Mojito, Supreme Kai Luo and the 3 players they brought to the outpost, Red Wolf Basil, the Yellow Wolf Lavanda and the Black Wolf Bergamo descend. All the gods' eyes were focused, and even Bergette's eyes swept over everyone in the 9th universe. Except for Angel Mojito, everyone else and God's combat power values entered his eyes. Sidra's combat power is not too high, and it is basically the same level as Champa. As for the Supreme Kai Luoer, the combat power value is similar to that of Fua, and it is considered a waste of waste. If there are 3 wolves, the strength will be so-so. A unit located in the 6th dimension, Jing. Of course, this shouldn't be full strength, but with full strength, Dingtian will be at the 7th dimension. Advertisement. Ong. Single quote. A wave of space fluctuations came. In that last missing position, a flash of white light followed by Angel Whis, Gods of Destruction Beerus of the 7th universe, and 3 contestants. Son Goku, Son Gohan, Majin Buu, no, not yet. There is a character who comes to play soy sauce, the world champion Satan. Finally waited for this moment, the warrior of the 7th universe, the protagonist of the original book. Son Goku. Bergette clenched her fist slightly and relaxed again. His eyes were locked on the auditorium of the 7th universe. In the same way, except Angel, the combat power data of all the personnel entered his line of sight. Gods of Destruction Beerus, but on the surface, the combat power is only stable at 1000 ditch units, but it is more mysterious than Gods of Destruction Quatella. There is no dispute, the strongest Gods of Destruction, there will be no fakes. Son Goku, normal combat power is 1000 Gai. Son Gohan, the normal combat power is 10 Beijing. Majin Buu, with a combat power of 5000 Jing. Satan, 10 combat power, rubbish. To be honest, Bergette was disappointed to see here. His expectations were a little too high, and his disappointment was too great. Even Son Goku, the strongest warrior in the 7th universe, is a unit with only Gai's normal combat power, even if it is not full strength, but the highest unit will not reach Z's unit. Compared with him, there is a difference of 108,000 miles. The normality between them is like the difference between heaven and earth. A 7th dimension, a 9th dimension. Bergette can even fight Son Goku's Super Saiyan Blue at full power with normal power. 18%. Chapter 38. In the 6th universe, there are also demons. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. The people from the 7th universe have finally arrived. Bergette-san can take a good look at them. That person with a naive smile is exactly Saiyan and Son Goku, who showed their skills in the martial arts tournament with the 7th universe before. Vados. He couldn't help but said something to Bergette. As soon as these words came out, Bergette nodded slightly. Frankly speaking, I don't need her introduction, but it's a good thing to have her introduction. After all, he can't just know who the other party is. Humph. If you hadn't rejected this god last time, maybe these things wouldn't have happened. That Son Goku is really hateful, Champa said with a little anger. Obviously, it was the loss of the game and the occurrence of such a thing that made it difficult for him to accept. Hee. Champa's words made Vados smile slightly, but he didn't answer. He just continued to look at Bergette and said, "How does Bergette-san feel?" If there were some expectations before, then the most disappointment is now. This kind of strength has set off this bloody storm. It should be said that his life is good. With a casual comment, Bergette stopped watching Son Goku. Really? Too weak. Perhaps, only at the power conference, Son Goku, who reached the peak of Ultra Instinct, can make him a little interested. The current Son Goku, without the slightest flower head. If he makes a move, one finger can kill him. Really? It's no wonder. After all, Bergette-san is a character that even Lord Champa has defeated, so it's only natural to dislike Son Goku. Vados covered his mouth and snickered. This made Champa angry again. Hey, Vados, you are talking about this again. Hee. I was wrong, Lord Champa. With an affectionate joking, Vados obediently closed his mouth, but his eyes remained on Bergette, full of curiosity. Advertisement. She looked forward to seeing what would happen if Bergette and Son Goku played against each other. After all, Son Goku has created quite a few miracles. With the arrival of everyone from the 7th universe, the Grand Priest fell from the sky. With his appearance, all the gods and angels of the 12 universe showed serious expressions. Immediately afterwards, the two Zeno appeared. Under the escort of 4 divine servants, stand on a high place and overlook everything. The 7th universe and the 9th universe have arrived, and the gods and angels of all universes have also arrived. Now, the preview conference will be officially launched. Under the words of Grand Priest, the atmosphere became extremely tense. The only one who was not affected was the Supreme God directly above everyone, and the two Zeno cheered with joy. For them, this is a long-awaited game, especially for the future Zeno, and this interesting thing is finally about to begin. Hey, Quan, I'm here. Also suddenly, in the depressed atmosphere, the nervous Son Goku spoke suddenly and waved his arms. Such behavior and words made all the gods and angel look sideways, and even stunned. Especially when Son Goku flew directly in front of Zeno to communicate with him, it shocked all the gods. Angels are even more unbelievable, mortals are so bold. In the words of gods of destruction and Supreme Kai, if this kid wants to die, don't drag them. Advertisement. However, the next scene made all the gods and angel dumbfounded. The two Zeno's attitude towards Son Goku was not only very friendly, but also greeted him happily like a long time no see between friends. Idiot. Hurry up and come back to me. Beerus, who had been so frightened, roared at Son Goku. Now is not the time for Son Goku to say hello to Zeno. Beerus was even more agile, went straight to the top, grabbed Son Goku's clothes, and threw it back to the platform of the 7th universe. At the same time, I bowed to Zeno, expressing my apologies. Beerus was furious, and if it wasn't for the power contest, he would have really destroyed Son Goku. Well, really, I'm just saying hello to Zeno-sama, is it necessary to be so serious? Son Goku complained with a dissatisfied expression. It's fine not to speak. After saying this, Beerus is even more angry, but when Grand Priest and Zeno-sama, as well as all the gods and angel, his anger can only be suppressed, and instead he is worried about Son Goku. This kid is too simple, and he has no idea what serious consequences this presumptuous act will bring in the world of God. You kid, you want to die. Beerus' face was gloomy, and after his face changed, the power of gods of destruction suppressed Son Goku's body, not to mention how terrifying it was. Son Goku, who was frightened, could only beg for mercy. That. Beerus-sama, I'm wrong, can't I? Farce happens quickly and ends quickly. The Grand Priest didn't take it seriously, it just ignored Son Goku's behavior. After signaling to Zeno, he began to pronounce the sentence. Okay, Zeno-sama has been waiting for a long time. Everyone from the universe, let everyone gather here this time. It has been announced before, in order to make the future Zeno full of expectations for the next power conference. So, the outpost of this power conference was specially held, and the 3 soldiers sent by the 9th universe and the 7th universe were sent one by one. Now, we invite representatives from both universes to come to the arena and compete. This outpost, with the sentencing of the Grand Priest, officially begins. Advertisement. You guys, who is going up? Gods of Destruction Sidra asked, glancing at the 3 wolves. Gia ha 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 ha. Lord Sidra, let me do it, I will leave all the players in the 7th universe killed. The Red Wolf Basil took the initiative to ask Ying, this guy's arrogant attitude with madness and bloodlust. It seems that he really has a 100% certainty to tear up everyone in the 7th universe. However, what he didn't know was that he was just a humble ant. 7th universe, whoever picks one at random, can kill him. Jumping from the 9th universe's preparation area, Basil fell to the ring. His expression was indifferent, his arms crossed his chest, and he had the demeanor of an invincible king. 7th universe, after consultation, dispatched representative players. Majin Buu. When this guy came on stage, he was not well received by the gods because it was too strange and funny. Only Bergette suddenly remembered something and asked, hey, Foy, do you know where the devil of our universe is now? The 6th universe and the 7th universe belong to twin universes, and the 6th universe also has a devil. Chapter 39 Rolling. Joke. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Magic. That's right. We universe also has demons. Bergette, if you don't tell me, I will forget him. After Bergette reminded him, the figure like a demon appeared in Foy's mind. That guy, but in the past few years, destroyed an unknown number of galaxies. It was because of Bergette's relationship that he stopped his behavior, so that the crazy thing didn't happen again. You 2 guys, can't you speak more clearly? I have to ask, there are such guys in our universe. Looking at Majin Buu on the field, Champa turned his head curiously, asked Foy and Bergette. To him, he had never heard of the devil. It's not surprising that Mr. Champa doesn't know, after all, you have been working hard to find the wishing beads in those years. In our universe, there really exists a devil like Majin Buu, and that devil destroys you when you are lazy. A lot of planets, it is a great contribution. Angel Vados explained actively. If she doesn't mention it, she won't mention it. But since it is mentioned, it is necessary to say it. Huh, anything like that. Then why didn't you tell me? Champa was gloomy. This suddenly lowered his rank again, as if he really didn't know anything. Didn't you ask me? And if you knew about the existence of the devil, Lord Champa, you wouldn't be Lord Champa, hee. Vados kept snickering. Being ridiculed, Champa blushed with anger and had a thick neck and clenched his fist slightly, but he still managed to hold back his anger and did not break out. Bergette didn't care about the mutual ridicule of the 2 beside her. Advertisement. Continue to ask Fua. If we can find him, then our universe's odds of winning will definitely be higher. Let the demons of the 6th universe participate, which makes Foy stunned, but isn't the number of people already complete now? It's never a problem to have a complete number of people, the capable go up. The weak go down. Isn't that the truth? Bergette's words left Foy speechless. Champa on the side heard the sound and said, could it be that the devil is so powerful? Can he take the place of others? At least, it's much better than the crooked melons and cracked dates you found. Rolling his eyes, Bergette said bluntly. Instead, stop talking. After all, what is to be said now, what to do in the future, and who to do it, is the key. Champa was very angry, but he didn't know how to refute. Vados narrowed her eyes, she knew that if Bergette did this, the 6th universe could be said to be the real strongest warrior. Her eyes stayed on Bergette, the deep meaning only she knew, what it meant. Without the topic of communication, Bergette focused and analyzed the strength level of the contestants on the court. Red Wolf Basil's combat power is only a little more than 1000 Jing, while Majin Buu's combat strength is as high as 5000 Jing, which is 5 times that of Red Wolf Basil. On the surface, it is conceivable that Majin Buu's strength far exceeds that of Red Wolf Basil. Speaking of which, Bergette has never been on the right track for Majin Buu's strength. After all, when Majin Buu was in the Z period, it should not be so strong. At most, it is only a mega level. Advertisement. According to the current situation, Majin Buu's real combat power should have reached Guy's unit, at least the full outburst of anger must be at Guy level. Exaggerate. Do not. In fact, this is not an exaggeration at all. After all, in the original book, this fat man has never practiced, and his combat power has been increasing. Demons have always been defined as beings with the most terrifying potential. On the ring. Fat man, do you want to eat chocolate? Basil thought of something funny and took the initiative to tease Majin Buu. Chocolate. Do you have any chocolate? When he mentioned chocolate, Fat Buu immediately came to his senses. For sweets, he could say that he had no ability to resist. Of course, come here if you want. Basil smiled sullenly. Anyone can hear it, it's a joke, Majin Buu. However, the naive and simple Fat Buu was fooled. The moment Majin Buu approached, Basil smiled grimly, and the next second he took the initiative to attack. In just a split second, he rushed to the front of Majin Buu, his right leg gathered energy, the crimson light flashed, and Basil kicked Majin Buu's abdomen with a whip. The powerful impact made Majin Buu's body twist like a rubber, and the whole person turned into a cannonball and flew out in an instant. Taking advantage of the victory, Basil's legs exploded with strength, and his whole body turned into a red streamer and quickly shuttled through the space, and launched a continuous fatal blow to Majin Buu. Advertisement. The light on the right leg became more and more intense, and the intensity of the energy condensation became more and more terrifying. Majin Buu's fat body was kicked around like a ball by Basil, unable to fight back. In everyone's eyes, this pink fat man has lost. Gods of Destruction Sidra and Supreme Kai Luo and the Ninth Universe are extremely satisfied with Basil's performance. Yes, that's it. Give me a good smashing of this fat man and show the whole universe the power of our Ninth Universe warriors. Supreme Kai Luo laughed wantonly. What he didn't know, however, was that Majin Buu didn't take any damage from the beginning to the end, and that Basil's attack seemed ferocious, but in fact he didn't even break the defense. In addition, Majin Buu didn't fight back, but was passively beaten, giving him the illusion of Basil's super strength. Boom. LB. Boom. Boom. LB. LB. The sound of continuous air explosions exploded, and Basil's series of attacks poured down towards Majin Buu's body like raindrops. Countless attacks, every move carries the terrifying power that is overwhelming and destroying the world. Ha ha ha, it's over, fatty. The voice fell, Basil teleported and appeared directly above Majin Buu, the light from his right leg turned into flames and receded, his whole body rotated at a high speed, maximizing his strength and power. Boom. An explosion. There were layers of ripples in the space, and Majin Buu was hit head-on by this terrifying blow, smashing into the center of the ring from the sky like a cannonball. For a time, thick smoke and dust flew up, and Majin Buu fell to the ground in the center of the ring. Blowing Majin Buu down in an understatement, Basil landed magnificently from the sky. 19%. Chapter 40. The situation is reversed, shocking the gods. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. With an opponent of this level, there is no pressure at all. With a smile on his lips, Basil folded his arms and turned his back to Majin Buu, thinking he had won the battle. Blind self-confidence in himself affected his judgment. He was too conceited, underestimated the combat power of others, and was overconfident in his own strength. Majin Buu, after all, is one of the top combat powers in the 7th universe. How could it be solved by a single red wolf in just 3 or 2 strokes? Of course, he wouldn't know. Kaka. Single quote. The broken stones in the ring moved, and Majin Buu, who had fallen to the ground, stood up tremblingly as his momentum rose. Nani. Feeling the strangeness behind him, Basil turned around in disbelief. The last thing he wanted to see happened. After eating his super combo, the fat pink man was able to stand up, and looking at him like this, it didn't seem to be a big problem. There was a faint smile on that fat cheek, and in the next second, he took a deep breath and filled his body with breath. The large and small footprints all over the body disappeared in the blink of an eye, and the distorted parts also returned to their original state in an instant. This, impossible. You have nothing at all. He cried out in disbelief. Basil was stunned by Majin Buu's terrifying repair ability. As long as there is one cell left, Majin Buu will not die. Advertisement. This is the scariest part of Majin Buu. General damage blows are simply difficult to hit hard. You dare lie to me. I'm angry. With a roar, Majin Buu's squinted eyes opened, and the monstrous pink aura spread out in all directions with him as the center. The terrifying momentum swept across the 4 directions like a tornado. Basil's face changed drastically after feeling this extremely powerful chi from the front, and an ominous premonition developed in his heart. Bergette, who is located in the 6th universe viewing area, judged by her own ability at this moment, Majin Buu's combat power value has reached the 7th dimension, the level of Guy. What a boring duel. This level of combat is not even a warm-up exercise. Muttering, Bergette clearly saw that Majin Buu's combat strength value had reached an astonishing 10 Gao. This power is far beyond Basil's. Indeed, it's quite boring, and there is no passion at all. Champa followed Bergette's words at this time and echoed. Like a mockery of the 7th universe. Hee hee hee. Bergette-san and Champa-sama have the same thoughts this time. Vados chuckled lightly. On the ring. After being deceived, the angry Majin Buu has burst into full force. In addition to being beaten up by Basil before, that anger surged in his heart. Basil, whose fighting power is not at the level of Qianjing, is more vulnerable than a baby in front of Majin Buu, who is full of firepower. The fat body shuttled around the arena at an astonishing speed, and the fat fist looked ineffective, but it was actually enough to smash an incomparably huge planet. Advertisement. It was only 3 iron fist attacks and the last heavy hammer, which completely made Basil incapacitated, spitting acid water at the mouth, and fell to the ground. No suspense, instant kill. This scene made the faces of Supreme Kai Luo and Gods of Destruction Sidra in the preparation area of the 9th universe change dramatically. They lost so easily. This weird fat man is so difficult to deal with. Damn, how can that pink fat man be so powerful? I underestimated him before, Supreme Kai Luo said angrily. After thinking about it, Luo thought of something. With a thought, a red light flashed in his palm, and a red fruit appeared in his palm. Hey, I'm afraid this is not a good idea. This is a violation of the rules. Gods of Destruction Sidra saw this scene, and had a bad premonition in his heart. What are you afraid of? This is just an outpost. There are no rules, no matter what, we can't lose the 9th universe, Basil. If you can still hear me, stand up. Supreme Kai Luo he called out to Basil, who fell to the ground in the ring. Hearing Luo voice, Basil's consciousness was awakened, he stood up tremblingly, and rubbed his aching head with both hands. The heavy hammer just now made him seriously injured. Lord Supreme Kai, I'm fine, give me that thing. Basil turned to Supreme Kai La behind him and responded. That's good. With a gloomy smile, Supreme Kai Loha threw the huge red fruit out. Basil caught the fruit with a sinister smile on his face. Damn fat man, I gave you a little advantage just now, but not now. Basil swallowed the fruit as soon as he finished speaking. In just an instant, his body underwent amazing changes. Advertisement. The originally thin red wolf has transformed into a huge, burly and strong devil wolf. In terms of breath and energy intensity, it is as simple as doubling. Power. This feeling of being filled with energy is great. The combat power skyrocketed, and the red wolf Basil screamed in the sky. His combat power has also soared from the previous 1000 Beijing to 3000 Beijing, and it is still rising. It's just that this force is powerful, but it is far from Majin Buu who is full of firepower. Let's start again. Fatty. Basil grinned, bloodthirsty light flashed in his eyes. The red suffocation surging all over his body was gathered by him to the position of his right leg. Ow! A roar came from the beast. The energy converged like a flame on Basil's right leg and was driven to his fingertips, condensing into a crimson ball of energy. The fat man of the 7th universe. Let me wash away the shame I have suffered from you, and turn it into dust under my power, flash shock. Roaring, the completely red-eyed Basil spins at high speed, accelerating the energy after reaching a certain level, the dark red energy ball that was compressed to the extreme also shot out. But what happened next made Basil completely dumbfounded. The flash of energy condensed from his entire body made him vulnerable in front of Majin Buu. Majin Buu blocked this powerful attack with just one hand. Single quote. As his palm slowly exerted force, this was compressed to the extreme flash shock, completely collapsed, and turned into a cloud of dust that dissipated in the space. 19%. Chapter 41. A different battle, Son Gohan debuts. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. No. Impossible. My flash shock. What the hell are you? Basil was dumbfounded. No. To be precise, he was completely shocked by the overwhelming strength displayed by Majin Buu. He has always been the number one existence in the 9th universe, and he has long been used to being arrogant and domineering. However, the truth gave him a slap in the face. Majin Buu displayed overwhelming combat power far above him. A strange smile appeared on Majin Buu's face, and in the next second, he assumed a standard posture. That familiar stance, the ancestral Kamehameha wave. However, the form of energy is different. The pale pink aura surged through Majin Buu's body like a demonic arrogance. At this moment, another mysterious force emerged. Although this force only appeared for a moment, it was still noticed by Bergette. Power of God. Feeling the power of God that suddenly appeared from Majin Buu, Bergette felt a little dreadful about it. The memories in his mind retraced, judging what the remaining part of the divine power in Majin Buu's body was all about. A simple and honest fat man appeared in his mind, the big Supreme Kai. Majin Buu became what he is now because he devoured the great Supreme Kai. The power of God of Supreme Kai still remains in his body, and it can even be said that Supreme Kai has been sleeping in his body. No wonder his power can break through Gai's units, or because of a small part of Supreme Kai's divine power that led to his transformation. If a comprehensive divine power erupts, I don't know how strong it will be. Bergette curious about Majin Buu. This fat man was once predicted to have infinite possibilities. Advertisement. On the ring. Majin Buu's energy has been condensed to the limit state. Along with a roar, a pink energy ray ripped apart the space and ran towards Basil. This huge coercion made Basil unable to move, and could only resist the terrifying energy head-on. Boom. The energy exploded, and there was a harsh roar. The smoke billows, and Basil's whereabouts are unknown. It is possible that it has been bombed into scum. This scene shocked everyone in Ninth Universe. Third, Bergamo shouted with great concern, to whom Basil was his brother. If he died, he would have to kill the fat man even if he committed a foul. Damn it. This fat man has such a powerful strength that he is not as good as eating Basil. With a grin, Supreme Kai Luo felt annoyed. The first game, I lost the first game. What a shame. Gods of Destruction Sidra was furious and had an urge to destroy Majin Buu. This time, their Ninth Universe lost face. Losing the first outpost battle, isn't it expressing that their Ninth Universe is not as good as the Seventh Universe? Shut up. I haven't lost yet. With this level of attack, it's impossible to defeat me, Master Basil. From the center of the explosion, Basil roared hysterically. In the thick smoke, Basil's figure appeared. His massive body was covered in exploding wounds, dried up with blood, and covered in wreckage. The breath contrast has dropped by a very large part before. Advertisement. His eyes were bloodshot, and his malicious gaze locked on Fat Buu. My uncle. But I haven't lost yet. Fatty, I just got a little bit of an advantage, don't get too carried away. Basil, who was so embarrassed, didn't want to accept the fate of failure. However, just as he was driving the energy in his body, a tragic scene happened. The side effects of eating the fruit, as well as the damage to the body, broke out at this moment. The side effects appeared, and the indescribable pain caused Basil to collapse instantly. His strong muscles became dry, and his body was whipped around by electric arcs, and he finally returned to his original appearance and fell into a coma. The first outpost ended with Basil's defeat. To be honest, it shocked Bergette, because according to his memory, the fight was not supposed to be like this. Above, the gods couldn't help but let out a sigh of emotion. Of course, the gods are Supreme Kai. For gods of destruction, this power is not enough. As this the combat power of the Ninth Universe. Like that guy in Sidra, they're all rubbish. Gods of Destruction Quatella of the Fourth Universe shook his head with a smile, feeling very disdain for this. He has that arrogant strength. After all, in Gods of Destruction's combat power rankings, his combat power can rank in the top 2. No one can beat him except the Beerus guy. This is also the reason for his arrogance. Sometimes, in Gods of Destruction, absolute strength represents the face of a universe. Advertisement. Sixth Universe here. After seeing Majin Buu's powerful combat power, Bergette turned to ask Supreme Kai Fao next to him. According to the level of strength, the demons of our universe should be above this in terms of strength. It's really hard to say, but the difference shouldn't be too big. Foy answered in panic. During the exchange, time passed again for a minute or so. The ring that was destroyed by Majin Buu and Red Wolf Basil was also repaired in a snap of fingers by the mysterious power of the Grand Priest. Not only that, but even the strength and hardness of the ring have been greatly improved. To put it bluntly, this also seems to be the Grand Priest testing the sturdiness of the ring and whether it can support the power competition. With the restoration of the ring, the second match also began. On the Ninth Universe side, the Red Wolf Basil's big brother, the Yellow Wolf Lavanda, was directly dispatched. On the Seventh Universe side, there is no doubt that Son Goku's son, Son Gohan, the most powerful single warrior in the Z period. It's a pity that, under the influence of the past few years of study, the single person who used to be the strongest has become a scum who can't rank in the top 3 for combat effectiveness. In terms of combat power, he is even weaker than Lavanda. Of course, without transforming. Players from both sides took their places and looked at each other on the left and right sides of the ring. Son Gohan first politely folded his hands and bowed slightly to Lavanda, and what he got, of course, was Lavanda's mockery. Chapter 42 Once the single strongest. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Hehehehe. The people from the Seventh Universe are quite polite. I just don't know how many rounds you can hold in my hands for a seemingly literate scholar. Don't think you've won Basil. Think I'm easy to deal with. Son Gohan's respect made Lavanda's attitude extremely arrogant. It's good to be polite, but at times like this, it's obviously not necessary. Moreover, for wolves, your politeness may not be appreciated by the other party. Especially Lavanda, a guy with a lower character, even worse than his younger brother. Come and try, and you'll know. The Yellow Wolf Lavanda's words made Son Gohan's expression straight and put on a fighting stance that he hadn't seen for many years. His expression was much more serious than before, but he had not cultivated for many years, and his combat skills, combat intuition, and his body had all regressed significantly. Against Lavanda, his odds of winning are very low. Gia ha 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 ha. Then I have to give it a try. The arrogant Lavanda let out a roar, and the cruel expression showed that he was a very insidious and cunning existence. In just a split second, his legs slammed into force, turning into a cannonball and rushing towards Son Gohan at an astonishing speed. The intensive offensive, which was no weaker than Basil's, fell on Son Gohan like raindrops. Boom, 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 boom. The muffled sound of fisting to the flesh exploded. Ravanda's fierce attack pushed Son Gohan back, and he was forced to defend. In the face of Ravanda's fierce attack, Son Gohan felt the pressure. I thought, let's play it first. Advertisement. The result is overconfidence. I'm still too big. This power is much stronger than I thought. Close black lens bracket gritting his teeth, Son Gohan went completely defensive, intending to end the game with one blow when Lavanda showed a fatal flaw. Unlike others, Son Gohan stopped grinding after the Majin Buu battle. Especially his current concept, any battle, as long as you grasp the key points, and decide the winner with one blow at the most critical time. In the end, he lost Saiyan's blood, and he lost the idea of fighting. If it is said that he has been practicing all these years, at least his basic combat power will not decrease too much, and his understanding of combat will not be so straightforward and one-sided. Once the strongest single fighter, is now an ant. If he can still maintain the original mysterious state, let alone a mere yellow-haired wolf, even if the red-haired wolf goes together, he will be able to defeat them in half a minute, right? The battle goes on and on. Ravanda's attack was fierce as a torrential rain, blocking all spaces that could be avoided, causing a continuous and devastating blow to Son Gohan. Although his body is almost rusted and his fighting instinct and tactics have regressed a lot, he is still Son Goku's son after all, with Son Goku's blood flowing in his body, and he was once a strong man. As a member of the fighting nation, Saiyan's characteristics allow him to quickly adapt to the desperate situation, so as to continue to grow and break through the limit. Ravanda's attack was fierce, but Son Gohan could not be taken down for a while. But thanks to the pressure he brought, the blood in Son Gohan's body began to heat up. From the passive defense at the beginning, he slowly began to get used to it, and then fought back. Advertisement. After dozens of rounds of confrontation, Lavanda suddenly exerted force, and his speed and strength increased in an instant. A roundhouse kick hit Son Gohan in the chest and kicked him out. Son Gohan, who was caught off guard, put his hands on the ground to stabilize his body. The clothes on the chest were torn apart by Lavanda's blow, and the internal organs were also hit to some extent. Wiping off the blood stains from the corners of his mouth, Son Gohan stood up again and stabilized himself. I didn't expect you to have a little bit of skill. I admit that I underestimated you, but this game is over now. I don't want to continue to play with you. Gia ha 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 ha. Ridiculously teasing Son Gohan, Lavanda is ready to use his housekeeping skills. Poison gas. I saw Lavanda brewing the poisonous gas in his body, spewing a cloud of turbid gas from his mouth, attached to his hands. This poisonous gas, as long as ordinary people touch it, it will be corroded in an instant, and even bones and dregs will not be left. Among the three brothers, he may not have the overwhelming fighting power and ability of the boss Bergamo, nor the excellent leg skills of the Red Wolf Basil. But his poisonous gas is the most inexorable poison in the universe. This poisonous gas, according to the level, even the powerhouse of Guy level, even if it is stained with a little, will not feel good. This. Son Gohan's pupils shrank suddenly after noticing that Lavanda's poisonous gas had corroded a corner of the ring. This poisonous gas, even a little bit, will make him seriously injured. Hey. I seem to see the emotion of fear in your eyes. Are you afraid? Since you are afraid, hurry up and admit defeat, so that you can suffer less skin and flesh. You know, my poison gas is one of the best killers in the 9th universe. Be careful that it will corrode and not even bones will be left. Gia ha 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 ha. Lavanda showed a treacherous smile, and his abusive eyes locked on Son Gohan, said arrogantly. Advertisement. Don't underestimate me too much. Provoked, Son Gohan didn't intend to hide and tuck. Although, he can't become the strongest state he once was. But becoming Super Saiyan can still be done. Ha! In a roar, Son Gohan mobilized the Chaosai energy pool that had been dormant for a long time in his body, and the golden arrogance continued to expand with his shouting, but in an instant, he was incarnate into the state of the first rank of Super Saiyan. For Son Gohan's change, Lavanda was surprised. After all, it was the first time to see Super Saiyan state. For the 6th universe and the 7th universe, they have long been surprised. However, for the 6th universe's Bergette, Son Gohan's performance made him extremely disappointed. It's just the full power of the ordinary Super Saiyan First Order, not even the Second Order Super Saiyan, can't even display the power of the Second Order. Waste. Disdain for Son Gohan, Bergette. As a soldier of a fighting nation, his body is so fragile. Even the energy of the second stage of Super Saiyan can't be carried, and the limit can only become the first stage of Super Saiyan. Really fighting, it is estimated that this kid can't even beat Gabe. Chapter 43, The Powerhouse Who Has Been Eliminated by the Times. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Super Saiyan First Order Full Power. In the face of Son Gohan, who has greatly increased in strength, Lavanda was not afraid, but began to get excited. Interesting. So interesting, I hope you didn't just change a color, let me see how you are different from before. With a sneer, Lavanda took the initiative again. His speed remains the same. But Son Gohan has ushered in a qualitative change after transforming into the first level of Super Saiyan. In the face of Lavanda's attack, he can handle it with ease, but unfortunately, even if Lavanda reveals a lot of flaws, Son Gohan can't catch it. He has not practiced for many years, and his fighting instinct has become dull to the bottom line. Even if his transformation has strengthened his strength, and the battle has allowed him to master some skills, it is still far away. He was still pressed and beaten by Lavanda. What's wrong? Saiyan of the 7th universe. Is your fighting power only at this level? I wasted all my expectations of you. With a roar, Lavanda's speed increased, and the poisonous gas on his palm became even more intense. Full-bodied. Seizing the opportunity, he broke Son Gohan's defense, tying Son Gohan's body with his hands and legs. Oops. The body was locked, and Son Gohan had an ominous premonition in his heart. Under Son Gohan's unpleasant and panicked eyes, a deep poisonous gas that had accumulated for a long time spewed out of Lavanda's mouth. The poisonous gas, which is more ferocious than the poisonous gas on the palm, instantly corrodes Son Gohan's facial features. Ah! The severe pain made Son Gohan miserable, his eyes turned pitch black in an instant, and he couldn't see anything. The facial features were also changed beyond recognition because of this highly corrosive poisonous gas. Advertisement. Seeing that the attack was successful, Randa released Son Gohan and distanced himself from him. Don't worry, boy, my poisonous gas didn't invade your internal organs, it just ruined your face. After all, if the opponent dies in this outpost battle, I will lose. With a treacherous smile, Lavanda once again strike. His wretched figure turned into a yellow flash, teleported behind Son Gohan, and sent Son Gohan to the sky with a palm. The excruciating pain caused Son Gohan to vomit sour water. Taking advantage of the victory, he displayed a super high-speed movement to the sky where Son Gohan was about to arrive in advance. It's over, Saiyan of the 7th universe. The voice fell, and Lavanda bent his legs and slammed Son Gohan's stomach with his knees. PFF'd. The moment he was hit hard, Son Gohan spat out a mouthful of black blood, and his body fell into the ring like a cannonball. Boom. The explosion sounded, the smoke billowed, the dust flew, and Son Gohan was enveloped in the smoke and his life and death were unknown. Landing the smashed ring from the sky, Lavanda smiled and shook his head, disappointed with Son Gohan. At this moment, he started pretending. Thinking that Lao Su is the number one in the world, the mere Saiyan is nothing in front of him. But what happened next made his expression of victory and joy froze. In the thick smoke, Son Gohan didn't fall down completely, he got up again with tenacious willpower. Don't presume to assert my failure. I wouldn't lose so easily. After being hit hard by Lavanda, Son Gohan didn't admit defeat, it belonged to Saiyan's belief in not admit defeat, provoked his anger. Anger is one of the sources of Saiyan's power. It is precisely because of this that he has unlocked the transformation of the second stage of Super Saiyan again, surpassing the existing limit, from the first stage of Super Saiyan to the state of the second stage of Super Saiyan. Advertisement. It's just that this second level of Super Saiyan is not the peak of the second level of Super Saiyan, but the initial stage of the second level of Super Saiyan. The normal 100-fold increase in combat power has raised Son Gohan's combat power value from the 800 cap limit to the 1000 cap level. Originally, he could use stronger energy, but his body has reached the limit, and if he continues to bear this skyrocketing power, I am afraid that he will break himself first without Lavanda's shot. Do you still want to do this kind of meaningless resistance? If you give up the game for treatment now, your face and eyes may still be saved. Just a reminder, the more your power explodes, the deeper my poisonous gas will penetrate. If it spreads to your brain, you must die. Lavanda reminded Son Gohan in a warning tone. So what? Even if I don't have eyes, even if I lose my face, if I lose this life, I have to win this battle. The stubborn Son Gohan wanted to reverse the situation. You stubborn fellow, since you want to die, then I will fulfill you. Lavanda stopped talking nonsense, and once again coated his fists with a stronger layer of poisonous gas. He was going to take out Son Gohan in an instant. Lavanda burst out again, clenching his right fist, and the poison gas condensed. Son Gohan seems to have noticed it too, and even if he is blind, he can still judge the trajectory of Lavanda's movements. Just like the original, without the eyes, Son Gohan becomes stronger and unaffected by foreign objects. Both sides, at the same time, threw a final punch. Boom. Single quote. LB. Single quote. Two consecutive violent explosions. Son Gohan's fist hit Ravanda's abdomen, and Ravanda, who was hit hard, widened his eyes, his pupils dilated, and his mouth was filled with poison. Ravanda's poison fist also bombarded Son Gohan's face, causing more damage to Son Gohan. Advertisement. The two flew out in different directions in an instant. Ravanda, who was repelled by Son Gohan, felt humiliated. He was actually injured by a mere blind man. Moreover, this guy was also attacked by his poison gas. This is simply a great shame. In just one thought, he had the intention to kill Son Gohan. He wants this wild monkey to get off the ring. ... At this moment, all the gods have their eyes fixed on Son Gohan. There is no doubt that Son Gohan's Jedi counterattack and Son Gohan's surge in strength have all been recognized by the gods. Even if the strength is the same, it is indeed amazing enough. The viewing area of the 7th universe. Beerus other than Whis, Son Goku, Satan, Majin Buu all grabbed the heart. At this time, Son Gohan was still standing, just not willing to admit defeat. In fact, he can completely lose, and in such a state, no one will blame him. Chapter 44 Bergette's criticism. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. The viewing area of the 6th universe. Vados watched the showdown in the ring with great interest. Gods of Destruction. Champa folded his arms and looked abusive. Supreme Kai Foy looks worried. And Bergette, on the face under the black robe, is full of contempt. Son Gohan's performance, though, did surprise him a bit. But it's so delicious. To be honest, he has been in this world for decades, and he has long forgotten many of the plots in the original work. But Son Gohan's performance in the power conference he remembers a lot, really pulling his hips. He thought that Son Gohan would not be so useless, but the more he looked at it, the more useless he felt. This kid is more tenacious than I thought. Can the situation be reversed in this situation? Champa said with a hint of surprise on his face. From the name, he knew that this kid was definitely Son Goku's Saiyan son. That's a little unrealistic, Lord Champa, Vados agreed, seeming to conclude that Son Gohan would be hard-pressed to win the match. Even though she could see the power hidden in Son Gohan's body, it was difficult to turn the situation around because she was poisoned at this moment. There is nothing wrong with her evaluation, frankly. But she ignored one point, that is the difficulty of the Sun family, which can be said to be the number one in the world. And wearing the protagonist's halo, is it so easy to lose? Advertisement. Miracles often happen to these people. I'm afraid it's not as simple as you think, Vados. Bergette, who was silent, suddenly spoke. Bergette-san, don't you think my opinion is wrong? Vados asked in confusion after taking a moment of surprise. It was a surprise, first that Bergette called her by name, and then that Bergette thought differently from her. As Angel, she doesn't think she can be wrong, at least in the current situation, her guess should be the only ending. You must know that according to the current situation, even if Son Gohan becomes the second tier of Super Saiyan, Lavanda's strength is similar to that of Son Gohan. The strength of the two is almost the same. After a long battle, it will only be Son Gohan suffer. You don't know enough about our Saiyans. Even the Saiyans of the two universes are the same. Vados, if it's another race, I don't have any opinion on what you say. Bergette said, her eyes locked on the man in the ring. Son Gohan felt the determination of the other party to do everything. How do you say it? Could it be that your Saiyan family still has the ability to reverse this mortal situation in an instant? Champa on the side couldn't help but sarcastically said. Glancing at Champa, Bergette didn't care at all, but continued. Saiyan is called a fighting nation. This sentence is not groundless. We Saiyan can continue to grow, become stronger and improve our own strength in the battle for many years. Beyond the limit. This is even more obvious in the desperate situation. The more desperate situation we can turn over, the more we Saiyan can grow beyond our imagination and break our own boundaries. But he has the blood of our Saiyan clan in his body, and even Saiyans from different universes have such characteristics. As soon as these words came out, Vados and Champa refreshed their understanding of Saiyan. At the same time, I am also curious about the Son Gohan who was suppressed by Lavanda in the ring. Does this Saiyan really have such ability? The 7th universe is here in the preparation area. Everyone was taken aback by Son Gohan's desperate posture. Goku-san, your son is probably fighting with the determination to die. As a father, why don't you stop it? Whis glanced at Son Goku and signaled to him that Son Gohan would take the initiative to admit defeat. Otherwise, when the poisonous gas invades the brain, it will really be dead. Advertisement. Even if Angel has the power to turn things around, it will be troublesome at that time. Gohan Son Goku murmured, and after thinking for a moment, a smile appeared on his face. No need, Whis, I respect Gohan's choice. Since he decided to fight with all his might, he will definitely not let us down. Son Goku is still very confident in his son. Even if you are worried, even if you are afraid, how many disasters have you encountered along the way, how can you be overwhelmed now? HMPH. According to you, your son is a bit bloody. Beerus snorted coldly, but kept his eyes on Son Gohan in the ring. It doesn't matter to him that he loses this game. After all, can't really kill people. Also, Son Goku is the finale, he doesn't think Son Goku will lose. So 2-on-1, in the end, the 7th universe wins. On the ring, Son Gohan, who lost his eyes, locked Lavanda's position with his breath, and fought back and forth with the opponent. In the state of desperate fighting, Son Gohan was obviously better than Lavanda, who was actually suppressed by him. Impossible. You've lost your eyes. And you've been poisoned by me, how can you still lock my position? How did you do it? Lavanda roared in panic. He didn't want to, he just lost the game. He has the advantage, and it would be too embarrassing to lose like this. I just did what I was supposed to do. That's all. Son Gohan once again surpassed his limit as he shouted at all costs. Advertisement. In the early stage of Super Saiyan Tier 2, the combat power increased by 100 times, and the combat power increased by 150 times when it reached the peak of Super Saiyan Tier 2. His power has officially entered the node of 1500 Beijing. The gap in combat power widened, and Lavanda was caught off guard by Son Gohan's heavy punch in the face. He lost control and shot out like a cannonball. Son Gohan's punch hit the key at the crucial moment, knocking him out completely. Bergamo. Second child. Lavanda. Second brother. The life-threatening battle ended in Son Gohan's disastrous victory. On the ring, forcing beyond the limit, Son Gohan received a huge backlash. His head was completely dyed purple. Super Saiyan's second order state disappeared, returned to normal, his body fell forward uncontrollably, and fell into a coma. Even if you win, it's a miserable victory. Lavanda paid a dear price for his arrogance. Son Gohan, who fought so hard and gave everything to win, got what he deserved. 21%. Chapter 45 Son Goku debuts, the protagonist Halo. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. The match between Son Gohan and Ravanda is over. Son Gohan won the second match. It can be said that, according to the comparison, the 7th universe has defeated the 9th universe. However, from the beginning, this was not a battle that was won by the number of victories, so the last battle was still to be played, especially for the future Zeno, which was far from being deeply attracted. By the time the game ends and the next game starts, Son Goku took the initiative to take him from the ring back to the 7th universe's viewing area, and then rescued him with the power of Whis. It has to be said that the father is extremely satisfied with his son's performance. At least, Son Gohan didn't lose face at home. With time delay. Another half a minute passed. The ring was also repaired and strengthened again by the Grand Priest with that miraculous power. The third game will kick off. For all the gods and angels of the universe, this is also the most crucial battle. The 7th universe's Son Goku versus the 9th universe's Black Wolf Bergamo. Just like the plot in the original book, Bergamo used his sharp and vicious mouth to speak nonsense as soon as he came up, as if he wanted to take back what the two younger brothers lost. He will also provoke Son Goku, who is in this all-universe power conference, and describe him as a person who harms the universe and as an unforgivable existence. It can be said that the 7th universe was completely pushed to the opposite of all other universes at one time. Formed the 7th universe as the source of evil. Without the 7th universe, no other universe would face such a desperate situation. Advertisement. Obviously, the effect is sufficient. At least a few universes were incited, but for some universes, how could they be easily motivated? And with Son Goku, none of that matters. Anyway, he just wants to fight against the strong, he doesn't care what the price is. As long as you win in the end, you can restore everything with Super Shenron. What Son Goku didn't know was that because of his attitude, the gods were angry and Bergamo was secretly delighted. It's a complete hit. Bergamo also became the first hero of many gods to stand up to the evil Son Goku. He knew that as long as he defeated Son Goku, the outcome of this martial arts tournament might turn a little bit. As the boss of the dangerous trio, Smashing Gong Bergamo, he is very confident in his own strength. Even the man in front of him has a formidable combat power that is not inferior to him. But he's not as simple as it seems. As the most dangerous and strongest existence in the trio, his surface combat power has reached an astonishing nearly 100 Gai, a proper 7th-dimensional combat power. Of course, what he didn't know was that he was more than 10 times 100 times worse than Son Goku. Fierce battle, imminent. Perhaps because Bergamo's words stimulated Son Goku instinctively wanted to beat the opponent down quickly, so he came to deter the gods and prove himself. The normal 1000 guy level combat power broke out in an all-round way. For a time, Bergamo was beaten and retreated, but he was not defeated. On the contrary, he continued to absorb energy from Son Goku's attack to improve himself, and the combat power soared from nearly 100 to nearly 1000, and it was still rising. Advertisement. This ability to absorb energy to enhance himself is not bad, but unfortunately, his body strength is not enough after all, and he cannot absorb the ultimate combat power that he can withstand. Can you absorb energy? It's not bad, but I want to see how much you can absorb. Son Goku's mouth twitched, and he decisively took out his normal full power of 3000 Guy. And mobilized the energy pool of the second stage of Super Saiyan. Boom. An aura that was more than 100 times more violent than before erupted in an instant. Blonde hair and blue eyes, lightning around the body, this is the second order peak of Super Saiyan. A 150-fold increase in normal combat power, raising Son Goku's combat power limit to a unit of 45Z. Beyond the 7th dimension, a proper 8th dimensional powerhouse. When the second level of Super Saiyan showed, the Black Wolf Bergamo obviously felt powerless. The energy accumulated in the body is too much, which has made him a little overloaded. Come on, give you more energy. Seeing that Bergamo was about to reach his limit, Son Goku in midair showed a look of disdain. He was stimulated by Bergamo's provocative words. Although I really want to have a good fight and fight slowly, I am only fighting against evenly matched powerhouses and stronger beings. A mere Bergamo still can't get into his eyes. Although this ability to absorb energy is good, it still disappoints him. Let me see where your limit is, how about I give you more energy? Ha! With a hysterical cry, Son Goku decisively mobilized the energy pool of divine power within his body. Drink! An angry shout resounded throughout the audience. The energy pool of Super Saiyan Blue was completely volatilized, and the dazzling blue light flickered like the radiance of the gods, making all the gods energized and showing shock. All the gods of destruction except Angel were unbelievable at the terrifying divine power that Son Goku unleashed. It is just a mere mortal, who is regarded as an ant-like existence by them, but has cultivated the power of God to such a consummate level. Super Saiyan Blue color. Advertisement. The light blooms, Son Goku's hair turns blue, and his Kai rises to an unbelievable level. This form has not been tempered to the extreme by him. Even if it reaches full power, it is still a little worse. In the 6th universe viewing area, Bergette's eyes fell on the super blue Son Goku, and he said bluntly. The opponent's combat strength value, in his eyes, is only 2500Z. A mere 2500Z. What is it? The limit increase of the Super Saiyan Blue color can increase the normal combat effectiveness by 10,000 times. But Son Goku has only now mastered the Super Saiyan Blue color that increases his combat power by 8,000 to 9,000 times. Compared with him, it's too far behind. In the simplest terms, the normal Bergette could ravage him at will. However, when dealing with Bergamo, the moment Super Saiyan Blue appeared, there was basically no suspense. Incarnated as Son Goku in Super Saiyan Blue color, his hands clasped together to form a sunflower state, blue energy condensed in his palms, and he was crazily compressed by his powerful external force. The ancestral Kamehameha wave energy is condensed to the extreme. In just a blink of an eye, a terrifying dark blue light was released from Son Goku's palm, engulfing Bergamo's body with overwhelming power. Such a vast energy is far from the level that Bergamo can swallow, but in a blink of an eye, Bergamo's huge body was severely damaged in the energy sea and returned to its original size. He also fell off the ring and declared defeat. The battle ended again with Son Goku's overwhelming power. Destroying Bergamo, Son Goku is released from the Super Saiyan Blue state and returns to his normal state. Chapter 46 Crazy Talk. Justice Warrior Toppo is not absent. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. After winning Bergamo, 9th Universe officially declared defeat. The original preview conference also achieved good results. At least it has met the expectations of Zeno in the future, and is more fascinated by the power assembly. At this point, the farce should be over. However, Son Goku, who won the competition, was not satisfied. It should be said that the player of the 9th Universe is too weak to even let him fight with all his strength. And now, because of Bergamo, the rest of the universe sees him as a thorn in the side and an enemy to defeat at all costs. He also wanted to express his thoughts and his dignity. At least, the power conference is not such an opponent again, otherwise it would be too boring. For him, the stronger the fighter and the stronger the opponent, the stronger he can become after the battle. No matter how many enemies are erected, he can accept it. He has expressed his lofty ambitions, no matter what other universes think about him, if he has the ability, he will come down and defeat him. As soon as these words came out, all the gods of destruction were stunned, and the next second was boundless anger. Advertisement. To put it simply, a mere mortal only has mastered the power of God, so arrogant. On the 11th Universe side, the Justice Warrior Toppo in black robe finally couldn't sit still. As in the original, Son Goku is, in his opinion, the most evil person. Completely opposite to him. Lord Vermut, please forgive my rudeness. Unable to bear, Toppo jumped off the ring in one breath. His actions also attracted the attention of the two Zeno and the dissatisfaction of the Grand Priest. You know, this kind of unauthorized behavior has already broken the rules he set. Taking off his cape, Toppo also revealed his true face. Please forgive my presumptuous actions, Lord Grand Priest, Lord Zeno, I want to talk to Son Goku. Toppo lowered his arrogant head respectfully, and knelt down on one knee to the supreme god above. An unexpected look appeared on Grand Priest's face. The next second he turned his head to look at Zeno, and after getting Zeno's permission, he said to Toppo, since Zeno-sama has no opinion, what do you have? Just say it anyway. With permission, Toppo no longer suppressed his anger. A terrifying crimson flame ignited from all over his body, and the vast coercion spread in all directions like a violent storm, directly pressing Son Goku away. Facing the shock of Toppo's terrifying breath, Son Goku had a surprised expression on his face, but soon, the surprise turned into excitement. At first, he didn't pay too much attention to the existence of Toppo, but when the opponent stepped onto the ring and showed this terrifying momentum, he saw it. Advertisement. This guy, different from the previous three, is so powerful that it is outrageous. Sure enough, other universes really have stronger existences. Finally a decent opponent, I'm starting to get excited. Son Goku clenched his fists and muttered to himself. Son Goku, you rude maniac to the gods, don't you understand what you've done yet? It's just because you let the other universes fall into this crisis, which caused everyone to come and fight with you. This meaningless power meeting. As a warrior representing justice in the 11th universe, today I will fight you on behalf of justice. As long as you lose, the universe of the defeated side may not be wiped by Zeno-sama. Except, I have to stop this crisis from happening. Toppo, with his flamboyant acting skills and incomparable attitude of Chun-Ji, identified Son Goku as a sinner and wanted to put him on trial. To be honest, narcissism is overdone. This guy, Toppo, completely regards himself as the savior of the world. Such performance has been recognized by many universe gods, but some universe gods don't take it seriously. In the eyes of some gods, this is just another self-righteous guy. Do you really think that defeating Son Goku will save all universe from this impending quagmire? This power meeting was originally Zeno's decision and will, and it was also caused by Grand Priest's side effects. In the viewing area of the 6th universe. Bergette couldn't help but thought to herself. It's the same as the original, hypocritical words, hypocritical appearances, these disguises are just to satisfy your own vanity. Close black lens bracket. I really didn't expect that the people of the 11th universe couldn't help but take action so quickly. This preview conference is really getting more and more interesting. If the warriors of the 11th universe are also defeated, see Vermut. How stinky the guy will be in the future. Champa held the mentality of watching a good show. The next second he thought of something, and said slightly sinisterly, speaking of which, do you want to shoot? If you shoot, you should be able to defeat Son Goku easily, right? As long as he loses, maybe this time the All-Universe Power Conference, Zeno-sama will cancel the rule that the Lost Universe will disappear this time. Advertisement. With a bit of luck, Champa wanted Bergette to beat Son Goku. Not only will this disaster be avoided, but he will also be able to make a name for himself and impress the gods of destruction of other universes. Although the idea is good, Lord Champa, Lord Zeno's will is not something we can control. And the overall situation has been decided, and rash actions seem to only make the situation more uncontrollable. And oh, Lord Champa, now it's best to just watch the game. This Toppo has already made Grand Priest angry. Vados couldn't help teasing. This is to make Champa understand, don't have such unrealistic dreams. Bergette, who was on the side, obviously didn't take it seriously. It's up to me whether I can shoot or not. The opponent only has such a degree, and I don't want to get involved in this game of God that started in advance. Besides, I don't want other universes to be involved. Treat me as your worst enemy. Bergette didn't give Champa a good face, and a set of words left Champa speechless. It seems that Bergette-san understands that if you don't play, you can keep the biggest hole card. Vados laughed. What about Champa? It was an angry face and a thick neck, and for a while I didn't know how to answer. He suddenly found that he seemed really stupid. He didn't think of anything. Compared to Bergette, it's even more incomparable. Chapter 47 Son Goku vs Toppo, the strongest battle ahead. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. After hearing Toppo's remarks, Zeno gave their answer. Hyundai Zeno. It's a good proposal, so let's do as Toppo-san said. Future Zeno. As long as it can beat Goku. Hyundai Zeno. As long as it can beat Goku. Future Zeno. Then the defeated universe at the power rally will be spared the annihilation. Hyundai Zeno. Then, the battle can now begin. The scene of the two Zeno singing together is particularly shocking. Of course, for knowing the existence of Zeno's identity. If you don't know, it's just funny. Since Zeno-sama has already decided, then, as long as you, Toppo-san, or other people take action, and defeat Goku-san in this outpost battle, then the universe that was defeated in the power conference will not be erased. On the contrary, if no one can defeat Goku-san, the rules remain the same. The Grand Priest got Zeno's order and only pronounced the sentence. As soon as this remark came out, all gods of destruction and Supreme Kai were shocked. The angels all showed sideways expressions. At this moment, for other universe gods, they even regret it. Why not bring one or two of their universe's top-notch beings like Vermut and Champa? As long as Son Goku can be beaten, the ridiculous rules of the game will be cancelled. Even Toppo himself did not expect that his justice would be recognized by Zeno. Now, the opportunity is right in front of him, and he absolutely cannot let it go. Advertisement. This is also a chance to prove yourself. Son Goku. Did you hear that? Zeno-sama agreed with my proposal. This time, I will do everything I can to defeat you and rewrite the rules of this martial arts conference. This is a just punishment, and you cannot escape. The high-spirited Toppo burst into a terrifying atmosphere. Escape. I never thought of running away. To be honest, I'm too excited to meet a master like you on this occasion. Son Goku, who grinned and fought with high spirits, decisively mobilized the energy pool in his body. The golden arrogance expanded again, directly crossing the full power of the first stage of Super Saiyan to reach the peak of the second stage of Super Saiyan. The combat power of the whole body has been raised to 45Z. This is, after all, an incurable problem. He clearly knew that Toppo's combat power was very strong, not even inferior to Super Saiyan God, but he had to take out the second-tier transformation of Super Saiyan first to fight. Here it is. The breath of the two sides launched a fierce collision. The situation became tense, the situation became dangerous. All the gods clenched their fists and focused. Also hope Toppo can win this battle. As long as Toppo can overwhelm Son Goku with an overwhelming force, then they can get Zeno-sama to rewrite the rules. The breaths of the two sides confronted each other. Son Goku's combat power continued to rise, which completely surpassed Fandao in the original work. Before he knew it, Son Goku completed the transformation of the third level of Super Saiyan. The combat power is as high as an astonishing 180Z. On the other hand, Toppo had already erupted with the power of hundreds of ZG units. Enlightenment. Son Goku, I will defeat you in the name of justice. With a roar, Toppo's huge body suddenly rioted. Good day. Super 3 Son Goku has been waiting for this moment. He was also bursting with momentum, rushing towards Toppo. Advertisement. The two sides launched the first round of competition. The momentum and impact brought by this battle were far greater and terrifying than before. Son Goku's pace continued to pick up, and Toppo was faster than him. Both of them shuttled through space at a very terrifying speed, and they fought dozens of moves in just 1 second. In the end, Toppo suddenly exerted his strength, and once again increased his combat power, directly reaching Kionzi's unit. So fast. The sudden explosion of Toppo caught Son Goku by surprise. He still wanted to resist, but Toppo didn't give him a chance to breathe. In the third rank of Super Saiyan, he was completely suppressed by Toppo, and one hand was also abolished. At this point, it is the same as the original, even if he took out the third level of Super Saiyan. Boom. With a bang, and Toppo's punch cuts through the space and hits Son Goku's right arm. A terrifying force erupted, and the terrifying impact sent Son Goku back several dozen meters away. A layer of white smoke appeared on the right arm. The blow wounded him. Before he could take into account the pain, Son Goku forcibly replaced his dislocated left arm. Ha! Toppo, who was chasing after the victory, mobilized a stronger layer of energy in his body. The vast coercion spreads like an overwhelming force. At this moment, Toppo's combat power has skyrocketed, reaching an astonishing 2000Z. He wanted to beat Son Goku to the ground in one go. Feeling this deadly violent aura, Son Goku's pupils shrank suddenly, and he sensed killing intent from Toppo's body. Still, it's too big. Advertisement. Super Saiyan Tier 3 is powerful, but it is far from Toppo's opponent. Before it was changed, his Super 3 could kill Bergamo directly. But in front of Toppo, Chaosun was as weak as a child. This time, he has met a master. If he doesn't show his true skills, he really can't win. Don't underestimate me, Toppo. Son Goku, who no longer supported him, decisively mobilized the power of God in his body. But this time the color of the power of God is not blue, but red. His transformation is not the Super Saiyan blue color, but the more stable Super Saiyan God red hair. The red-haired Super Saiyan may not be as powerful as the blue-haired Super Saiyan, but the battery life is definitely much higher than that of Super Saiyan blue. The 5,000-fold increase in combat power of the normal limit raises Son Goku's combat power value to a higher level than Toppo. 1500 Z. When the fire of the aura is contained within Son Goku, his form is revealed. Crimson hair, thinner body, steady but scorching divine power. Come on Toppo. This time I'm not the same as before. Son Goku, the Super Sai God, strikes again. His speed, strength, and battle instinct have all been greatly improved because of this transformation. The fierce battle between the two sides started again. The battle was extremely fierce, but even so, Son Goku couldn't get a bargain in Toppo's hands. It's just that the state of Super Saiyan is not enough to suppress Toppo, and it is even suppressed in reverse. This is also inevitable. After all, in terms of pure combat power, there is still a difference of hundreds of Z. Chapter 48 The Scorching Battle, Go All Out. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Boom. The two sides punched each other, and the invisible shock wave spread in all directions, shaking the ring underfoot into a huge pit. Two fiery red lights flickered in the space, and Son Goku and Toppo were fighting at supersonic speed. The quality of this battle was much higher than before, and the two Zeno who were watching the battle were full of praise, with even more anticipation in their eyes. Only their level of competition can barely meet Zeno's requirements. See also Zeno's horror. To put it bluntly, the two Zenos are just having fun. In the space, as the battle continued, the sound of impact and sonic boom continued to sound, spreading all over the place. The two Zeno are eager to see the battle between the powerful, and this mood is affected. The two red lights continued to accelerate, and the fierce battle between Toppo and Son Goku reached a fever pitch. Boom, 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 boom. The undulating sound of explosions lingered by the ears of every existence. It's just that this space is unusually lively. As the battle continued, the attention of all the gods was drawn. Except for the gods of destruction of the 7th universe, the other gods of destruction hope that Toppo will win. Advertisement. As long as this game is won, the cruel rules of the power conference will not count. For Supreme Kai, the terrifying combat power displayed by Son Goku and Toppo is more than they dared to imagine, because it has completely reached a level that they cannot understand. There is no doubt that this is the realm of gods of destruction. Although compared with the decent gods of destruction, the strength is very far behind, but at this level, it is the realm of alternate gods of destruction. And, this is not the full strength of the two of them. The 12 angels, as well as Zeno's bodyguard and the two Zeno, nodded slightly in agreement with the match. Although in their eyes, a battle of this level is like two ants fighting each other, but watching this kind of duel once or twice occasionally gives people a completely different feeling. After all, they haven't seen a high-quality duel between mortals since the previous martial arts conference between the 6th universe and the 7th universe. As the battle heats up, both Toppo and Son Goku show their true skills. Toppo, with all his strength, the combat power is approaching the power of 3000 Z. At this level, it is already quite terrifying. Not to be outdone, Son Goku took out the Super Saiyan blue color transformation. Sacred blue rays of light spewed toward the four directions, and when this vast divine power was released, the sacred and inviolable voice of God seemed to echo in this empty competition arena. Super Saiyan blue color. The increase of nearly 9,000 times the normal level has raised Son Goku's combat power to the same level as Toppo. The hot war between the two sides unfolded once again, and the intensity was far more intense than before. Justice. Flash. With an angry shout, Toppo's 5 fingers flashed red light, and the crimson energy bombs attacked the super blue Son Goku in a trend that was too dense to dodge. Advertisement. At this moment, the super blue Son Goku also responded very effectively to this overwhelming flash of justice. He forcibly destroyed the flash of justice with the power of God, and displayed instant transmission ghostly in front of Toppo's eyes. In the eyes of confidence, a devastating punch was thrown. Boom. A muffled sound. Toppo's face took the blow hard. Toppo, who was knocked back, adjusted his state and turned to perform a super fast move to come behind Son Goku, and slammed down with a hammer of justice. Just as the hammer of justice was about to hit, he was cleverly dodged by Son Goku. Nani? With such a fast speed, Toppo was shocked. Toppo yo, I'm here. Son Goku's voice rang in Toppo's ear. The next second, a whip leg landed on Toppo's face. The terrifying force deformed Toppo's facial features, lost control of his body, and rubbed the ring to slide dozens of meters away. Such an overwhelming trend makes all the gods understand that Son Goku in Super Saiyan Blue is far stronger than Toppo of the Proud Team. Son Goku. An angry Toppo roared up to the sky, and an even more terrifying crimson aura burst out from his body. Feeling the strong breath of Toppo, which is not reduced but increased, an excited smile appeared on Son Goku's face. Saiyan, is this kind of existence that is strong when it is strong. Toppo's flames inspired his will to fight. Toppo, your strength is not bad, let's see, I'm Super Saiyan Blue with all my strength. Ha! Son Goku also hid the last one with a roar. A fraction of the power, full power in Super Saiyan Blue. Divine radiance shone on the ring, reflected on the faces of every gods of destruction. The blue chi and the crimson chi reflect each other, dividing the battlefield, forming a sharp and simple contrast. Advertisement. This scene made Bergette understand that Son Goku had already practiced Super Saiyan Blue to full power. It's just that he has been hiding and never showed his true skills. It's an outpost after all, and the more you hide, the better. Otherwise, if the strength of the show is too exaggerated, it will be regarded as a thorn in the side of the existence of other universes, and a thorn in the flesh. Of course, now that there is a strong enough opponent, Son Goku is no longer reserved. Taking out the full power Son Goku in true Super Saiyan Blue color, the combat power has ushered in a dramatic improvement. His divine aura was stronger than before, and his combat power was completely stabilized at 3000 Z, or even above. Ha! Take the move, Son Goku. Toppo was furious, clasping his hands together, and a huge crimson air bullet condensed in his palms. The power increased sharply, and the fire radiated everywhere. Even the entire space was slightly distorted by this sky-defying powerful energy. It's a scorching hot breath, and since that's the case, then I'll come up with a trick to deal with you. Toppo, you're really strong. Feeling the extraordinary nirvana that Toppo condensed, Son Goku posed for the ancestral Kamehameha wave release. The azure energy gathered in the palm of his hand and was continuously compressed and condensed by him. At the same time, Son Goku also released his energy with all his strength. In this breath, he vaguely touched the unit realm of 4000 Z. Chapter 49. The Grand Priest stops it. Toppo's harsh words. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Feeling the power of Son Goku, a thunderous roar resounded in everyone's mind. Son Goku, you will pay for your arrogance and I will do everything in my power. Defeat you here. Take it, Justice Flash. In Toppo's palm, an extremely compressed energy bullet with terrifying power shot out in an instant. The speed of the energy bomb is beyond imagination, breaking through the speed of sound in 0.1 seconds. This terrifying energy attack was only half a meter away from Son Goku's position, and it was impossible to avoid it. However, Son Goku's next move surprised everyone. In the blink of an eye, he disappeared, leaving Toppo's trick to no avail. Impossible. Where did he go? Toppo was surprised, and the next second, Son Goku appeared in front of him. Toppo. Dangerous signals came from the cells of his body, Toppo's pupils shrank sharply, and his hands were subconsciously protected in front of him. At this moment, Son Goku's energy is also brewing to the limit. Super Turtle Pi Qigong Wave. A cry resembling a long dragon sounded, and a terrifying blue energy shot out from Son Goku's palm, completely engulfing Toppo's body. He used instant transmission with Kamehameha waves to achieve unexpected results. Advertisement. This trick, 10 years ago, he used to sell, but almost killed Cell in an instant. It's just a pity that the Cell of that year had Piccolo's cells and escaped the disaster. The scene of Toppo being swallowed by energy caused the gods to sigh. However, the most unwilling to accept is the 11th universe's gods of destruction Vermut. After all, he knows Toppo's strength, and Toppo is his backup. Impossible. It's impossible for Toppo to lose to that guy. How could this kind of thing happen? The clown gods of destruction Vermut was almost mad at this moment, and the killing intent towards Son Goku was deeper in his eyes. Lord Vermut, it seems that it is too early to draw conclusions. Toppo has not lost yet, Angel Makarita reminded. Of course I know that Toppo can't lose so easily, but the power of that move is indeed terrifying. At such a close distance, Toppo can't dodge this power. Vermut grinned and said solemnly. Seventh universe's viewing area is here. Beerus and Whis were satisfied with Son Goku's extraordinary performance. Instant transmission plus Kamehameha wave. This trick is really nostalgic. I haven't seen it for many years. It was this trick back then. It almost killed the complete Cell. The familiar trick evoked Son Gohan's memory back then. Goku kid, you haven't embarrassed me, Well done. A smug smile appeared on Beerus' face. Embarrass the Joker gods of destruction Vermut, he's a happy bunch. His words made Whis laugh and joked. I remember it well just now, Beerus-sama seems to want Goku-san to lose the game. If Toppo-san wins this game, the universe that lost the power tournament will be wiped out. This rule can be changed. Advertisement. HMPH. I'd rather stand to be cleared by Zeno-sama than to lose the game and change the rules. Goku, you must not lose, but then again, the move just now is really powerful, whether it's the angle or the speed. The power is impeccable, in my words. I am afraid I will suffer a big loss if I am not prepared. Beerus muttered to himself. On the ring. Thick smoke billows, and Toppo's figure has not appeared for a long time. Son Goku, who performed his nirvana, took a deep breath and stared at the center of the thick smoke. He knew that Toppo couldn't be defeated so easily, and he stopped. It's just that, after being hit by this move, it is unknown how strong the combat power will be. The smoke slowly dissipated, and Toppo's bruised body appeared. At this moment, Toppo's clothes were completely torn, and his body was covered with large and small wounds. Anger filled his heart. Sun, Wu, Kong, shouted word by word. Toppo's aura suddenly became grand, and compared to before, it not only did not decline, but even had an upward trend. This mutation made Son Goku even more excited. I knew you couldn't lose so easily. I haven't met an opponent of your level for a long time. I can feel the blood in my body boiling. Since you don't want to give up, I'll let you look how much higher I am than you after surpassing the limit. His eyes narrowed, and Son Goku planned to show his ability to press the bottom of the box. Kaioken. A crimson aura enveloped his body, and his breath instantly overwhelmed Toppo's head. Toppo, who has been carried away by his anger, doesn't care so much, he is going to defeat Son Goku. There is only this obsession in my mind right now. Both sides still wanted to fight again, and the intensity of the breath was getting higher and higher, but at this moment, the Grand Priest suddenly declared the game over. Advertisement. That's it, the players on both sides should step down. Grand Priest's words brought the angry Toppo back to his senses, and also let Son Goku, who wanted to fight again, dissipate his breath. This time, he did not complain, but was very satisfied. Those powerful beings in other universes. He had seen one with his own eyes. Good luck to you, Son Goku. With a cold snort, Toppo turned away grimly, no longer looking at Son Goku. This battle, even if he is unwilling to accept the result, it is undeniable that he lost the game. Son Goku is indeed stronger than him, but only in this form. If he gave up everything in exchange for that power, even if the Son Goku in front of him was 10 times stronger, he might not be his opponent. It's just that he hasn't made up his mind whether to use that power. You guys are really outrageous. I haven't met such a master for a long time. I look forward to playing against you at the Power Conference. Son Goku's heartless words inadvertently made Toppo once again stimulated. However, Toppo wasn't angry at the moment. Son Goku, don't think that your strength is the first in the universe. Your strength is at most a little bit stronger than me now. There is a person in my universe whose strength is far superior to mine. You better pray that you don't get caught by him when the Power Conference begins. Chapter 50 Son Goku's attention, Bergette's harsh words. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Son Goku, don't think that your strength is the first in the universe. Your strength is at most a little bit stronger than me now. There is a person in my universe whose strength is far superior to mine. You'd better pray that you won't be targeted by him when the Power Conference starts. The grim Toppo left a warning, and jumped to the 11th universe's viewing area. His words echoed in Son Goku's mind. Of course, that doesn't make Son Goku timid, after all Son Goku wants, that's the result. In other universes, do such masters really exist? Better than Toppo. Close black lens bracket muttering a word in his heart, Son Goku turned his eyes and landed in the preparation area of the 6th universe. The person in his eyes was neither Champa nor Vados. It's the one dressed up like Toppo. Toppo is so powerful, he has begun to value these hidden people. In particular, this presence now gave him a strong sense of unease. Although he had never seen his opponent's strength, and he didn't want to end up fighting him like Toppo, his intuition and physical instinct as a fighter told him that this man was very strong. The master of the 6th universe. It seems that what Hit told me at the beginning was not false. There is a stronger existence than him in the 6th universe. It's just that that person doesn't bother to participate in the martial arts conference between the two universes. This person is at least one dimension stronger than Toppo in the 11th universe. Son Goku clenched his fists, looking at Bergette with anticipation and awe. It doesn't seem to be very good for his situation now, but even so, he will not be afraid. If the opponent wants to fight, then he dares to fight. Advertisement. In the viewing area of the 6th universe. How could Bergette not sense Son Goku's attention? However, he didn't take him seriously at all. At least at this time, he, with this level of strength, is not even worthy of letting him take a look. Yahahaha. Bergette-san, all the universes seem to be looking at you now. According to the previous agreement, as long as there is a universe player who can defeat Son Goku, the universe that loses in the power competition will win. The rules that are destroyed will be broken, Vados said to Bergette involuntarily. At this moment, Bergette is in the spotlight. Because right now, only the 6th universe has a player with him. Feeling the gazes from other universes, Champa, who is the 6th universe gods of destruction at this time, looked left and right, pondered for a while, and couldn't help but said, Bergette, why don't you just shoot a little and teach me a lesson? What about this ignorant Son Goku? Although it has exposed its own universe, it is not bad that if you defeat Son Goku, you can remove the cruel rule that if you lose the game, you will be cleared of universe. In particular, he knew that Bergette had the strength to beat Son Goku. Even he won, let alone Son Goku. Bergette scoffed at Champa's request. Champa, that guy's strength is just a humble ant in my eyes, and he can be crushed to death with just a touch of his hand. How can you think that as a strong man, I would take action against this kind of thing? Cold and straightforward the words came out of Bergette's mouth. His attitude is very tough, so tough that no one can order him, and no one can command him. Such an attitude of dialogue with the gods of destruction would be extremely shocking if other gods heard it. Advertisement. Because no one in this world has ever spoken to the gods of destruction with such an attitude. Especially in gods of destruction, Champa, who has a bad character, will basically be destroyed if he doesn't obey orders, unless this person has a formidable combat power far exceeding gods of destruction. Of course, Bergette naturally has the strength to surpass Champa. Being rejected outright, Champa looked ugly, afraid of being ridiculed by other gods of destruction, and lowered his voice. Can't you just listen to me a little bit and take action? I didn't ask for anything else, as long as you just a little bit more. Show off your strength and let other universes know that our sixth universe is not a soft persimmon. Besides, if the rules change, won't it be good for you? Defeat Son Goku and let Zeno cancel the cleared rules. All are happy. Moreover, it can also make the existence of other universes awe them, and let them understand the strength of the sixth universe. Otherwise, why come here with Bergette? Just go through the motions. It turned out to be that Bergette would be able to grasp some information, and the power assembly would be more certain. It's different now. Looking at the angry Champa, Bergette glanced at him casually. This guy is really asking him to take action for the sake of his own face. Unfortunately, the attitude is still not correct. Otherwise, he can still think about it a little bit. Of course, this is just a random thought. After all, Son Goku didn't take the initiative to provoke him, and he didn't do anything to upset him. As an outsider, why bother? Advertisement. Suddenly, Bergette noticed that someone's eyes fell on her. Looking in the direction of intuition, the person who catches the eye is the supreme god of this world, the Grand Priest. The Grand Priest at this moment, with a faint smile on his face, seemed to be waiting for his answer. Even he is looking forward to himself. Open black lens bracket Grand Priest, what do you guys know? Why do you give me the feeling that you see through everything and grasp it in the palm of your hand? Do you even want me to teach Son Goku a lesson? Bergette and Grand Priest looked at each other, a wave in their hearts. You must know that for a god like Grand Priest who has lived for an unknown number of years, it may have existed since the birth of the Dragonball world, and it is basically impossible for him to generate emotions. But when he gave birth to this kind of anticipation, he must be planning something. Involuntarily clenching her fists, Bergette took a deep breath. He still remembered that some things said on the internet and in the major novels in the previous life, it seems that the Grand Priest is positioned as the existence of only one person in all planes. The Grand Priest, which is equal to all the existence of parallel time and space worlds, is the same. Unlike other gods and angels, each time-space world is different.